We're diving into movies, such a wonderful thing. From classics to new releases, we're giving you all the news. So sit back, relax, and enjoy our reviews. It's Tony and Manny, Tony and Manny. It's Tony and Manny, Tony and Manny. On Binge Buddies.
And what is going on, everybody? You are tuning in right now to another episode of Binge Buddies. Good evening and good Friday. I am your host and producer for the day, Tony. And of course, over yonder for the first time, I feel like on the table, we have Joey Greenwood, dude. What's up, Joey? What's going on, dude?
Not much, man. I got a lot to talk about this episode.
Yes, dude, that's right. We have a lot to talk about, a lot of good stuff to talk about. Michael in the vicinity will be here momentarily. But of course, per the title, per you guys wanting to know, we do have our review of Avatar Fire and Ash today. We also have the boys breaking down the finale of Stranger Things, the final season. That'll be brought to you by Joey and Mikey, because Tony did not really watch that show. Then, of course, we rapid fire news for you guys coming up. We're going to be watching the newest Avengers Doomsday trailer, and, of course, some DVD pickups to round out the episode, as well as our YouTube video of the day. So we're teasing a lot here. We're showing a lot. We have a lot to get into. It's going to be a jam-packed show here.
Jam-packed.
Jam-packed show. And, of course, dude, it is Friday, so we have our drink of the day, which, if anyone could guess, is, of course, a Velvet Llama. I have the espresso martini here because this show is sponsored and brought to you by Velvet Llama Premium Canned Cocktails, Joseph, crafted by NYC, not Connecticut, bartenders with a playful spirit. Enjoy their award-winning espresso martinis with Italian espresso chocolate notes, like the one I have here in my hand, the crisp Moscow Mule with Nigerian ginger, or the spicy Marg with organic agave and jalapenos. You know how I love jalapenos, Joey.
You love them.
These ready-to-drink treats are made with the finest ingredients. Grab yours at velvetllama.com and ride that smooth wave with Velvet Llama. And what a smooth wave it is to ride into the weekend. So I'm taking my sip now.
We love Velvet Llama. Yeah. Great company, great drinks.
Quality stuff, dude. Quality people.
10%, right, in those cans?
It is 10% in these cans, dude.
Yeah.
10% alcohol, 8.4 fluid ounces right now. I think they have a new can out there. Maybe a bigger one, I think, by now. But it's just enough to get you over the edge. Buy a nice 4-pack in the alcohol store, and you have a good time. That's for sure. Speaking of a good time, I mentioned we have a lot to get into. So let's do it right now, dude. Let me just remove that over there.
I wish Mike would stop being weird.
I know, so tough, dude. But we're gonna get into our review.
Let's do it.
Of Avatar: Fire and Ash. Finally we saw it last night, dude.
We saw it.
This movie obviously coming out for last year by now. Oh my God, the Christmas holiday season. As every Avatar seems to do, and it's been doing pretty well in the box office. So far, if I open up my Google Docs here, look at Avatar. The global earnings of this one, just Fire and Ash, is already over $1 billion, $1.01 billion, which now rounds out the franchise earnings. So just 3 movies for $6.35 billion, which I think for some food for thought, Star Wars is worth $46 billion, I think, to date. Obviously, longer period of time, merchandising, licenses, and stuff like that. But it's interesting to see that 3 movies of Avatar right now grossing over, just a little bit over $6 billion.
Yeah.
So James Cameron and Disney obviously very happy with that, and they have done a good job with it. And it is interesting to see these numbers, to be honest, because I feel like there was a lot of flack after that second one. And as we said before, we saw the third one too, like a lot of mixed reviews about it as well. So, but I guess it's still putting asses in the seats there, which is pretty sweet. But in any case, I guess before that, we should get to the comments. There's some comments here real quick. Matthew Gable says, yeah, dude. What's up, Matthew? Glad that you're in the house here. Goon Collector also says here, it was such a good movie if you're into it.
I love that name, by the way.
Goon Collector. Yeah, you like that? Why do you like that so much?
Why do I like that?
Yeah, why do you like
I think
it?
it's funny.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
What do you think about Derpy?
That's also funny.
501st, 2. He says, hey, fellas. And he says, I'm here for the mustache, Joey, which
Not
is
for
me.
Yeah, not me.
What's
No.
up? What's up? Although you do have a mustache, technically, so he could mean you. He could mean you.
Unkempt facial hair, so it doesn't really count.
Unkept facial hair.
Kept.
Yeah, I need to shave like my face kind of too, a little unkept as well. Brian Barnaby, the good evening. Why do your eyes look like that, Joey?
I don't know. I'll let you decide what you whatever you think.
Oh
you
my
let me know.
God. And then Goon says, I need more of him on the sports podcast. Maybe he is talking about you. Is he talking about you, maybe?
Maybe, I don't know.
Because I'm already on the sports podcast, but
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
he's like, oh yeah, Joe's the man.
Thank you. I know nothing about sports, but I will like happily make shit up. And
Yeah,
just talk
dude.
about it.
He
Yeah.
appreciates the finer things, he says. Who is
Right.
this guy? You know this guy, dude?
No.
Is he a friend of yours, buddy?
No.
And then Derpy also says Oregon just tied it up 7-7, fellas.
Nice.
College football
Okay, cool.
playoffs,
Yeah.
bowl season. Brian Barnaby now from YouTube says, anytime, Joey,
Mm.
always welcome on the sports port, dude.
Awesome.
Yeah, maybe we'll bring you in, to produce a few shows. You can get your takes in there for sports,
I mean,
you have some experience now,
I would just love to do a segment where I just like make up shit. Just I like based off of what I hear you guys talk about, because I do watch the show and I listen to it, and I don't really know what a lot of it means,
right.
But I feel like I've listened to enough of it where I actually know I could like how AI could like just fake a conversation about sports or something like that. I could probably do that, like in a funny, like really awful way.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, I like that. I think we can use that on the show for sure.
He says, let's not get crazy.
Let's not get crazy now, he
Yeah,
says.
yeah.
And of course, being the facetious man he is, says Tony, college football aficionado. We know he used that profit boost. They did not. Not wasting my money. I don't really know much about it. And then Goon Collector says, what do you mean, Anthony? He appreciates my name. That's clearly a man who knows the finer things like gooning.
Yeah.
Which is a pretty interesting
So,
phase there. you know?
This is for Goon Collector. So like I think the two funniest names I've seen on the internet, so like recently that come to mind are Dobby with a Throbby
That's funny.
and Two Futas Docking. Tony doesn't know what that is, but I'm pretty sure Goon Collector does.
I know what docking is.
Okay, yeah, all right. But yeah, I thought that was quite funny.
Yeah, I guess that you guys are having a good time, dude. And then here we got Derpy saying, let's talk about the fact that Power Rangers is getting rebooted and there's a list of actors out there. Is that factual? Power Rangers getting rebooted?
Talk about the fact that Power Rangers is getting rebooted.
Like a new season of Power Rangers? I don't know.
We gotta talk about Mike about that, because
Yeah,
I think
no,
like,
yeah.
every time that happens, it's kind of just like Mike is
Derpy
upset
says
because he just wants to be the
yes.
Green Ranger.
Yes, and he could.
I do think I honestly, like, I know that's one of these things where it's like, oh, your friend just wants to. It's like, no, he actually should be the Green Ranger. Like, he should. He definitely
should.
he
He
could
definitely can.
do it.
Yeah, no, absolutely could. I mean, he
has
has
the
been.
moves.
So he has the moves. He has the
Yeah.
voice of it for it as well.
Yeah, he does. He does.
And then Goose says, have you guys watched Pluribus from the creators of Breaking Bad? It's a phenomenal, weird show. I have not. And there is Jillian in the house. Also says he is the Green Ranger.
He is the Green Ranger. Yeah, I've heard about Pluribus, but I don't know what
I've heard
it
that
is.
show
Yeah.
as well. I have not
I don't know what it's about.
seen it.
so,
I don't think
yeah.
I've ever met anyone who's watched it either, to be
Yeah.
honest. I haven't heard one thing about it other than what you just talked about right now. And then Brian Martin says, how many gummies would you say are required to watch Avatar? That's a very fine question. And I don't know, man. Probably like I don't know, like 3-5 milligrams, for a 15 milligram gummy, depending on your tolerance, will set you, I feel like feeling pretty good for the movie. It is a long movie though, Brian. So you may want to have like a halfway through gummy, to re-up on yourself.
I feel like it was more than 3 hours.
No,
right?
it was 3:15 is the
Yeah.
duration. And of
Yeah.
course with the trailers, you're looking at like 3:35,
Yeah,
3:40.
yeah, we were there for like 4 hours. dude.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
crazy.
Yeah, which is pretty outrageous, dude. But nonetheless, there goes Brian, just to get a little loose, dude. Nothing crazy now. I don't need an episode in the theater, okay?
No, see, that's where I differ. Where it's like I don't think that it's not required, but Avatar definitely is the type of movie that would be better if you were like under the influence, like heavily under the influence
Of anything, really.
Yeah,
dude.
like I'd be like
Yeah.
taking like 100 milligrams, like at least.
That'd be wild.
If I
dude.
really wanted to like do that whole
dropping
experience.
acid.
Yeah, dude, that would be great. Yeah, because that's very
Visually.
a lot of visuals with that one.
Psychedelic, yeah, no, especially. Oh my goodness, if you see it in 3D too, I mean, forget about it. You could probably freak out at that point. And then Goon Coach says it felt like it was more than 3 hours because it was, Goon. And he goes, I'm going to be honest. A movie like Avatar should be watched at home on a good TV and sound system because sitting in the movie theater like I did is kind of crazy. And then he says, like, smoking a joint while watching. I guess that would be one upside of watching it at home. Although I feel like this is the type of movie where you do want to see it in the big screen. I mean, James Cameron says it. I'm saying it. I think you should see it on the big screen. And then Derpy says, I sent it on your guys' Insta about the list of actors for the reboot. I guess I can take a look at that right now, dude. I wonder if they have any big names, for that reboot. I'd be hard pressed if there were some big names. I can't really picture, like a Timothy Chalamet up there. Although you never know, he could be a big fan. Let's see, Derp.
I have a question for Goon Collector real quick.
I don't see Derp, dude, at all, dude. Hit him.
Yeah, what kind of sound system do you prefer for like a home, like TV setup?
Bose.
Are you a no? Not, that's a brand, dude. That's not like what do you? What
Oh, that's
kind-
what you meant by that.
No. So I'm
what
talking about
brand?
like do you are you a soundbar guy? Are you like a like you have
Woofer
powered
and
speakers, or do you have like a
fucking,
separate
yeah.
like power amp with passive speakers? Like so are you a subwoofer guy or not? Or
I'm a big soundbar guy.
I do not like sound bars.
I feel like for what they are and for how much space they take up, they're pretty good.
They're fine
pretty
for
quality.
that. For that,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
don't be like happy about it. Just like, just
you know
yeah.
what, Joey? You
What?
don't be happy about it, all right, dude. You don't laugh about it.
Yeah.
Um,
So we have Mike back in the house now.
Yeah. Brian Barnaby with a good reference here because it says James Cameron said it, E said it, Sloan said it, so you better fucking do it. I've been watching Entourage recently on my lunch breaks, and it is funny when James Cameron's in there getting fucking pissed off. Aquaman,
Yeah.
oh my god, dude, so funny. And then Goon Clinton says, Winter Soldier 2-Face, we'll get to that, Goon. And he says, I can use anything. I'm not an audiophile, but if I had to think of the perfect system, he says subwoofer, speakers on specific corners of the room, and TV. And I don't mind the Bose, but I prefer Sennheiser. Sony can work too. Brian Barnaby, Entourage, in a league of its own. I am realizing that myself. I've not finished the show yet, but I'm on season 6, I think.
It's a funny show. It's enjoyable.
It really is, dude. It really is like really funny, and there is a good story. It's surprised of the ebbs and flows that Vince goes through.
Yeah. As far as that, the responding to Goon Collector, yeah, not an audiophile. I definitely agree with that. Like audiophiles definitely can be very annoying. There's like a huge rift in like the audio world with like audiophiles versus like audio engineers or people who like work in sound or whatever.
Right.
Because those guys, like a lot of times audiophiles will focus on like, they'll be like the fucking copper and the wire is different and it fucking sound. It's like, that's stupid.
Right.
But yeah, audio engineers are more just kind of like, yeah, they know how to make stuff. That's their job.
Like
is
they
to make-
practically
yeah.
use this
Yeah,
stuff every day.
right.
Yeah.
Um,
It is tough when people like that, like, not say that they don't deserve to have an opinion, but it's like an audio, like you're saying, audiophiles, like people who aren't using this hardware on a day in, day out basis, like in a practical, professional way.
Well, it's that, but it's also like the components that they emphasize as being the ones that are like, oh, this will elevate your sound. It's like, no,
Right.
like as long as you have just decently good cables, you're fine.
Right.
Like, yeah, like if you have like a problem with interference in your house, get one, maybe you can spend some more money on ones that have like extra good shielding or something. But like for the most part, it's just like normal, like just normal cables, nothing too fancy is fine. Also, yeah, I'm definitely not that big on like surround sound. I know that's like a big thing in the movie theater, and like, yeah, it's part of the experience you get when you go there. I just like just a pair of speakers, stereo,
Pair of titties.
Don't necessarily need a subwoofer. I feel like subwoofers sometimes can be like a little annoying to anyone else you're living with. You know what I mean? But I mean, subwoofers are definitely nice. That's like a nice thing to add for sure.
No, definitely, absolutely. A home surround sound system like really goes a long way, especially when compared to your typical TV audio. I mean, it really is like night and day. Like, I feel like honestly, like if you're like balling on a budget or whatever, like really any sound system, I feel like would be a grand step up.
Yeah, yeah,
what
like
your
like
TV
even like you
gives
said,
you
even
know,
a sound bar, even a sound bar.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
admit that, but it's like I don't know. I'm definitely kind of like I like the simplicity of just like a nice stereo system. Like it's
Yeah.
just left and right. If you want the subwoofer, you can add it. If you don't, you just make sure you get speakers with enough bass for
Yeah.
the mains. You know.
Mhm.
So, but look, Mike's here. I think we should just like dive into it.
Well, you're not producing the show today, so you don't have that call. Oh my gosh, dude. Oh, no, I'll get to these couple comments. We'll dive right into it.
Okay,
Keith
okay.
Metzger says, Binge Buddies, let's go. Seems like forever ago since we did one of these. Excited to be back. Me too, Keith. I'm excited for you to be here. And also, like, let me know. Have you seen Avatar? Let us know about it. If you want to call in, feel free to. And then Goon says, do more Binge Buddies. Much more civil, and I love pop culture. We are slated for Binge Buddies once a month. And, you know, maybe based on... Excuse me. Some feedback. We can always, I guess, improve more or include more. But in any case, it is nice to see you more civil because Goon can get pretty aggressive on the sports port, you know, with some of his sports takes, the fandom. You know how that goes, Joey.
Oh, yeah.
Did he just headbutt the mic? LOL. Oh, my God, Joey. He goes, wow, the background of your studio is crazy. Thank you, Goon. Yes, you do not get this shot on the sports port. This shot is only
Binge
on
Buddies.
Binge Buddies. So let's get to the movie Avatar: Fire and Ash. And now, like, do you kind of want to break this down where like we start with the pros and then go to the cons? You want to start with the bad and then end on the good?
So
what do you think?
I think what we should do is just first say we're gonna talk about spoilers. That's like
Of course, yeah, naturally.
yes,
Yeah.
and I think first thing we should do is we should like summarize the movie as best as we can and say
Okay.
like all right, here's what happens.
All right.
If you want me to do it, I'll do it.
Are you prepared? to
Not
do that?
really, no. But
All right.
can
I mean,
wing it.
I can try to do it, and you want to try and like maybe fill in if I
yeah,
fuck
yeah,
it up.
Yeah.
All right, so the plot of this movie, which honestly is probably one of the cons of it, to be honest, because it's very similar to number 2 here. Whereas we are still obviously, it's a direct continuation number 2, so we're still with the Water Tribe here,
Yep.
still in that area. And we're left off exactly where the second one left off, where the son died. All right, kind of in disarray there. We're left with the monkey boy, Spider. Okay, who's kind of this adopted son, but he's still kind of on. Like the whole family's like still kind of on the fence about like, are we
friends.
cool with him on the
Yeah.
friends, frenzy, whatever, dude.
Yeah.
But the movie starts out in the mourning period of the son, okay, because it's still fresh wounds. Salt and vinegar are embedded in the wounds as well. For some reason, Sully's like grieving process is let's prepare for war, okay? So he's like neglecting his family, isolated, very short and curt with everyone. Because of that, the mother, Zoe Saldana's characters, praying, the Water Tribe, they're tight because Sully's got the metal guns, you can have metal, whatever, dude. And they basically decide that Spider, because of a mishap with his oxygen mask, right? Because they only have one spare, he still can't breathe the atmosphere. Like, yo, we gotta get rid of this kid, dude. He's not safe here with us. Whole family who've
The
obviously
kids
connected.
the kids really love
Now
him.
the kid's like, yo, he's like, but dad is also my brother. Now I kind of got this monkey boy, kind of a good replacement. I kind of got good thing going. What's going on, man? But obviously the parents are like, yo, get him out of here, dude. But then they're like, and then of course Sullivan's like, yo, let's turn this into National Lampoon's Vacation, because where we drop him off, we could just all go with him,
Yeah.
and we'll have so much fucking fun that you'll be whistling Dixie out your asshole. So that's it, and then they go with the smuggling group, like basically the Jawas of Avatar.
Basically, the people that
you
have
know?
airships. They have airships.
They have airships, yeah.
and they're traders. They call them the air traders or something like that.
Traders, not traitors.
Yes.
Traders.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. So like Jawas.
Yeah, like Jawas.
I will compare them to Star Wars stuff.
Sure, that's fine.
Thank you very much. So they go there, and it's like classic, like, we're not supposed to take the kid. Okay, we'll take the kid. And then it's like, we're not supposed to take everyone here. Okay, we'll take everyone now.
and then they eventually get raided by the fire tribe comes.
And again, it's pretty classic too, because it's like, coast is clear. Oh wait, the coast is not clear.
Right.
And we're getting raided by the fire
Yeah.
fire tribe.
And then like the I guess like the matriarch of the fire tribe or whatever, like the queen or whatever.
Varang.
She sees Sully using guns and is like, yo, that's sick.
Give me that fucking gun.
You can say they make a huge point and be like, she's like just infatuated with like, wow, dude, that's fucking she calls it the thunder.
Show me thunder.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Yeah, so that was actually kind of like I like that little detail.
Yeah, no.
But then going on, yeah.
We'll take a deeper dive into her character. She was
Yeah.
definitely a bright spot of the movie.
Yeah.
But at this point, you mentioned the guns, and at the same time, again, just like this entire movie, we do have Lieutenant Quaritch, right?
Is he a lieutenant?
Corporal. It's not corporal.
No,
Sergeant. I thought corporal is Sully. Isn't corporal?
No, Corporal was the main bad guy.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
Corporal Quadrich.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's like the dude from the first one.
Yeah.
G.I. Joe man.
They do for the second one too. Now
Yeah.
he's in the third one, so he's still
around.
an avatar, and he's still like chasing everyone. And he does exactly that. Okay,
But he's a blue person. Okay, I want to make.
right.
I haven't seen the second one, so
the entire second one, he's an avatar.
okay,
Yeah,
good.
He is
I figured
Navi.
because he was like fucking killed at the end of the first one.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Well, they give him. They put the mind, and it's
Yeah.
the classic mind
Yeah.
transfer, predictive programming, whatever you want to say, dude.
Right.
In any case, I'm trying to remember specifically here, but he does track down Sully because he sees them right like on the airship or something. Somebody sees them on the airship. One of his buddies, maybe. Call him in, location, go get him, runs into them. But at this point, the fire tribe or the kids are lost. They're chasing after the kids, and obviously,
Yeah, the parents and the kids get separated.
Yeah.
Actually, even the husband and wife get separated.
Exactly.
Yeah, and the kids.
Which
also
that
get
scene was
separated.
cool.
Yeah.
Good action so far in there. And again, at this point, I don't know, maybe we're like a half hour into the film, maybe when this is happening, maybe. In the second one, Joey, it was a good like hour 45 until we got a good action scene.
Damn.
Like it was tough, dude.
Yeah.
So again, that was definitely one check mark on better than the second one on this movie.
Definitely plenty of action.
Yeah, that was again another bright spot of the movie. So then beyond there, kids separated. Sully gets tracked down by Quaritch. And then at that point, Sully's like, "Yo, they have the kids. The kids lost." And Quaritch knows that Monkey Boy Spider is his son, so he has a soft spot. He's like, "All right, I'll uncuff you. Take me to him."
Because they know that he's gonna run out of
Oxygen.
Yeah.
So exactly. So at that point, now all of a sudden it's like enemies must team up. And you knew at that point that was gonna be a little bit of a theme there. So they did that. They get in touch. And then they kind of get in trouble with the fire tribe, but then they get out of it. Classic fire brigade. You like that? Classic cat and mouse game at this point for a little bit. And then Sully and Quaritch develop a relationship where they save each other for the kid, whatever, dude. But then classic Quaritch is like, "Yo, I'm getting the fuck out of here. I'm not with your family." Because then they come save him from the river. They're like, "Oh, this is our guy." He's like, "I'm not fucking out of here, boy." Meets up with his crew, goes to the Fire Queen bitch, gives him the weapons. They start the pact, okay? And it's classic, like, I guess, enemy of my enemy or my friend, I guess. I don't know. Or you need something, I need something. We can help each other together. And that scene's pretty cool with Varang because they have this weird sexual tension. And Quaritch, who is played by Steve Lang, I think he's a really good actor, to be honest.
Yeah.
And has gotten, I feel like, almost better with each one of these films. So that relationship was cool. So you can kind of anticipate what was kind of happening there, where you have like this bloodthirsty general on a mission, I guess you could say, who pairs up with this, loose cannon queen. All right, so you can tell the tandem's gonna be pretty good. And from there, that's where kind of, for me, the plot starts to lose me a little bit, because then they go back into the fucking whale hunting. All right. And then that's kind of where the plot takes you, is where, the Americans here are gearing up for an attack on the whales, salvage the money, billions of dollars. And then it's classic Quaritch is still tracking down Sully, but just has the new Fire Queen there. And that's basically your plot line. Do you want to keep going? Like, do you want to sum up the rest? Go through the rest of the battles and shit like that?
No. I feel like that's it. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else that we're kind of missing.
The underlying plot lines are, the daughter, who has a psychedelic power, Sigourney Weaver, she is still kind of like finding herself, connecting to the grandmother and shit like that, finding out her purpose. That's an underlying theme. You got the son that's left over, his connection with the whales, which is another underlying plot line.
But then also like the relationship with his father thing. And
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the blaming him for this death of the son sort of deal, disobeying his orders, where your fucking comms.
Yeah, and then they both
Number one.
At one. It's like two different points, but like there's a point. There's 2 points in the movie where like one point where where Sully's wife, I forget what's her name in the story. Whatever.
Niara, something like that.
She's basically saying we should just kill him because he's like gonna be a problem.
Exactly.
Because they're always gonna hunt for him. Oh wait, hold on. The key. This is the huge thing that we're leaving out is the fact that he does. So the whole idea is that after like the airship gets attacked and goes down, the spare mask and oxygen tank is in the crashed ship.
Right.
So the kids make a decision to go back
That's right.
towards the ship to try to
snag it.
And then in that process, I guess they start getting chased by the fire people. They basically they like run out of time and the dude's air mask like just goes to 0%. And the chick Kiri, the girl, she like starts like praying to the
mother,
the
grandmother.
Is it the all mother? Great
mother?
Awa? They call
Awa is her name.
Yeah. And she's like she takes her like little braid thing and she connects it to the roots on the ground.
Right.
And she's like basically just she's praying. You know what I mean? And like these like they look like veins or roots, like these like
roots,
bioluminescent root, like little like it ends up being like a fungus thing, right? But it like grows into his body,
right?
And basically changes him. They explain it later, but it changes him on a cellular level, so where he doesn't need oxygen.
Right.
And
he can breathe in the atmosphere.
He can breathe in their atmosphere now. Crazy fucking plot. I did not expect them to take it there. Yeah.
And again, that I feel like to me is like where we kind of run into a big mistake in the writing.
Yeah.
Because that kid, and I don't know, maybe it's more of a mistake in the casting, because that kid Spider is not a good character, I feel.
He was a weird thing to like centralize a lot of the plot around.
Exactly. Yeah. That guy is a fucking a linchpin. Okay, in this entire movie, like he is like a center point for a lot of things that are happening. And a lot of things happen because of him, and a lot of things happen for him. All right, and making him that important in terms of like, because he realized like, oh shit, like if they can reverse engineer this, at some point Sully's like, we're gonna kill the kid, because if they take him, study him, reverse engineer that power, like. The humans are going to just fucking destroy Pandora. They're going to come here. They're going to just like, all the natural resources, the whales, kill them. It's going to be like what they did to Earth all over again. So you can go under the underlying, societal themes in that. But basically, it's pretty crazy that a lot of things surround this kid. And he's not a great actor.
I agree that like, it's like the casting, I don't know. It's just like weird. Like he wasn't the most... Even though he never really was like a dick by any means, he just wasn't like the most likable character.
No.
Even when he's being like happy and like just trying to help everybody all the time. Still, for some reason, he just kind of comes off as being kind of annoying.
Yeah, exactly. And I will say though, he's kind of dialed back though in this one. The second one, he was
extra,
way more hateable.
Okay, good.
Because he was like he hadn't been accepted into the family yet. So he was like a try hard.
Yeah.
Like, ooh. And even in this one, he's fucking annoying. Damn, I wish I was blue. Why can't I just change my skin color? Damn, I wish I was why didn't you just make me taller? Oh, And it's like, all right, dude, like just fucking relax, dude.
Yeah, no, it is. It's crazy. I mean, the only other detail I could think of is like they have another thing with the whales, right? Which they're like, they have to, I guess like the whales are, I didn't realize that, but like the whales are like sentient and that they can like actually communicate with the Na'vi.
Yeah.
Like and like on like a high level of thinking.
They knew that in the second one too.
Okay, I didn't know that.
I know, just so you know.
Okay.
So you know what you missed. I'm sorry.
But yeah, no, they had the whole scene there where like the son, that like the remaining son, like travels to the to like the council to meet up like the elder whales basically. And like ask for help in the battle, and they're very like not about it because they're like, we don't think, like basically they're worried about the cycle of violence. They're like, if we keep killing, it's just going to perpetuate it more and more.
See, I don't know, that kind of annoyed me a little bit, that plot line, and even their like inner cultural turmoil, like this weird like weird. I don't know. It was just I feel like it was just a weird like stand on both sides and like a weird plot line to kind of introduce this kind of like complicated like cultural like rule thing that they're trying to follow at the same time.
There's a lot of that in these movies where they're like,
Lot
it's
of that,
very
dude.
like
tradition. We don't do that, dude.
And like Sully is like, and his kids and family are obviously just like, you know, but obviously his wife's way more traditional, but like Sully and his kids are they're rule breakers.
Yeah, of
like,
course.
They're all like that. You know?
And then you spoke about that last night, which is a cool thing that like Sully still sees himself as a Marine. You know?
Yes.
Because they're like they say it in the film. It's like, you know, like if you touch metal, like it destroys your being. You know, like basically they're not allowed to use the guns.
Yeah. Sully's like, dude, do you want to win or not?
And he's like, what are you talking about? I can't fight them with spears.
Yeah.
Okay. Like. So he doesn't, and obviously passes that down to his children, right? So yeah, that's a cool aspect. Again, some underlying plot themes are cool.
At one point, he like earlier in the movie, he tries to basically help his wife by taking fucking RPG heads, like an actual like RPG 7 like head, and like fixing it to a bow, fixing it to an arrow, and he tries like giving it to his wife to be like, hey, look, I know like you don't want to use guns, but like. You should at least use something with more firepower. Yeah,
exactly.
You know? Yeah. So, and she's not about it at first, but then by the final battle, she's just fucking slinging those things.
I love her character so much.
She's the best
Materi,
character.
She is by far.
She's the best.
She makes the movie, dude.
Yeah,
she
does.
makes the movie.
Yeah.
Honestly, both female characters do. We can get kind of maybe more into some of the positives
the villain.
here.
She was also
Varane. I mean, the two of them are awesome. And so we're going to get to some positives here of the characters and what we think after kind of breaking down this plot line. Of course, I want to get to some comments first, though. Goon Collector does say sports are a serious business, man. Absolutely, you're totally right. This show is not serious at all. Keith says, haven't seen it, but my wife is a big fan of the movies. Well, take her to the movies. And kind of before, we get into some of the positives and whatnot, I want to show you this short clip off of YouTube. This is shared on YouTube from the Avatar's account, actually. And there's actually, I mean, of course, because James Cameron, listen, I mean, obviously we're sitting here, we're breaking down this movie. There's going to be certain things that we ridicule or bring up that we may not really necessarily like or enjoy. But at the end of the day, like James Cameron is one of the most groundbreaking directors, in the business. You think of some of his movies, Aliens, Terminator 2, obviously Titanic, just to name a few. I mean, this is a guy who every movie he does, he kind of reinvents the business or at least, invents some new way to film, Avatar obviously being the biggest one, the 3D, the billions of dollars, whatever. But there is so much. They do a phenomenal job of kind of handling some behind the scenes stuff with Avatar. And they've been doing this through all of them, I feel. But I want to share a video with you guys, which is a short 60 seconds kind of like promo of like what the actors kind of do in real life versus what we see on screen. And I think the way that James Cameron uses his technology, which is very, very personal, by the way. This isn't like, doing voiceovers for an animated film like Toy Story or anything. These actors are very much in the same room together, interacting with each other. And I think that this is why you get such good performances out of Steve Lang, out of Zoe Saldana, out of Una Chaplin, even out of, Sully's actor, even though he's a B-list guy. Doesn't really matter. But let's take a look here at this video. Hold on, sorry. There it is. Bang, right here. So just take a listen.
Avatar films are not made by a computer. They're made by people.
Yeah, action.
And there's a lot of human work.
You said you could protect this family. That you could do.
What do you want me to say? I was wrong.
What is your name, Skyman?
Quaritch. Colonel Miles Quaritch.
Sorry. I fear we will not survive this.
I want Jake Sully!
eat your heart, Quaritch.
Pretty sick, dude.
It's really cool.
Yeah, no, it is dope to see them do not only all the scenes, but the underwater shit too. Like they're in the fucking pool, you know. Like it's really cool to see this, and there is so much actual footage about this because of how intense and crazy the filmmaking process is. If you go on YouTube, there's an account called Stream Wars. They have a full 30-minute documentary, and it's like in tandem with Avatar. So they have interviews with James Cameron, all the actors and stuff, and to hear them talk about their experience and what makes this movie so good. I mean, this is how James Cameron pull these good performances out of all these actors, and that I think is something that. I mean, again, we spoke about the numbers here. The 3 movies have made over $6 billion. I think that's a big reason why they're that good is because he's able to squeeze out every ounce of acting out of these performers. And that's why James Cameron's a great director. Not only because of, just the way his mind works with technology, but what he can get his actors to do. So, and like I said, I encourage you guys to watch that behind the scenes, especially for someone like Keith. I mean, you and your wife sit down and again, there's 30 minutes, learn so much about that filmmaking process. Very cool stuff. And like I said, since we're talking about the positives here, as Keith says, that was a cool clip. It's nice to see how much work goes into and how long it takes or it took to make the film. Yeah, absolutely. You really don't realize all the little minute details that, all these people have to focus on in order to make a film really work and stuff like that. But in any case, I talk about the actors. We already touched upon it right now. But I think those are really the performances is really what does it for me. It really keeps me interested with Una Chaplin, who, if we didn't already mention it, does play Robb Stark's wife. If you don't know who that actress is, in Game of Thrones, The Red Wedding, pregnant, stabbed in the stomach, dead. The granddaughter of Charlie Chaplin.
Dude, you just fucking spoiled the shit out of that. No, I'm kidding. It doesn't really matter.
Oh, Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
Listen, if you haven't seen it already,
I know.
fucking forget. You're lost.
But you just didn't give anyone a chance, dude.
It doesn't matter, dude. Okay, it doesn't matter. How far was it? 9 years since the finale?
No, I know.
Give it a rest,
matter,
dude.
I just figured, maybe a little bit more subtle with that.
No,
but yeah.
No, I will not.
No, that's how people remember her.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I don't think she hasn't been. I mean, not that I know of. This is the next thing I've seen her in. So, and I thought it was really cool. Again, watching that little documentary that I watched, hearing her speak about how this role made her feel like she was in like high school theater again because of the way they film and everything like that. So that was great, and she absolutely killed it. I mean, she really embodied. I feel like, what a crazy like kind of person, especially the way that tribe, her character, are very, very like. Raw. I don't want to use the word like native or indigenous or anything.
It's a little racy.
No. But when they say not indigenous, but they're like primitive.
Yeah,
I guess
even more so than the Na'vi.
That's what I mean. Like they're more removed from the Na'vi society.
Like they all have very pale skin. And they're not like they don't have any like. I mean, they have the face paint, right?
Right.
But they don't. I feel like the other ones kind of have like a glow to them, and they don't really have that.
And speaking of that, they also don't have like a belief system. They don't believe in any god. Like all these tribes,
they feel like they were betrayed by their god.
Exactly. And the only thing that is true, she says, is the fire, dude. Mm-hmm. And for some reason, you get this. You kind of get this vibe where she's like this younger, just kind of came into power type of role,
right?
And she kind of exudes that kind of a young. Obviously strong, manipulative, but at the same time a little bit naive to what it means to kind of rule a tribe, or rule anything for that matter. And she really embodies that. She really does. Like the whole scene with Quaritch, where she drugs him. I'm going to eat your heart. The whole thing. That scene was sick. She really. I feel like she did a great job there.
Yeah, no, I mean, I definitely want to get into the part where I just kind of start bitching about shit.
All right,
but I just want to say just to round out, because another detail that I just thought of that we didn't mention, it's important for the summary, is that Jake Sully does get captured at a certain point. He
Yes.
willingly gives himself up
Basically, to save
avoid,
everyone.
avoid a fucking disaster. So
Yeah.
he so there is this whole thing about like, remember you see that headline of like enemy of humanity captured, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're gonna execute him by firing squad.
Traitor of
Yeah.
humanity.
Yeah. So yeah, there's this whole thing where like again, there's like a marine biologist, and then also Spider. He's also captured there because they're trying to like they're trying to do the reverse engineering thing on him.
And Quaritch wants him to be his son, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And then he does that cool thing where he's like Spider. That was kind of clever with where Spider's like, hey, can I keep that?
Yeah, and then
he basically uses his dad's dog tag to unscrew the vent so that he can get out. Which is like definitely kind of like concerning from like if there's a super futuristic society, like it's that easy to break out of a fucking
and
cell.
like no one's watching.
Yeah,
this
I
right
know.
now.
It's
Like, there's
fucking
not,
ridiculous. But all right, so yeah, whenever you're ready, I'm just gonna like start bitching.
All right. Well, I guess a couple other things that I wanted to talk about that were good. As I mentioned, the performances already. I guess even though the plot line is the same as the last one, I feel, or very, very similar, I will say he did a good job in introducing some newer visuals, I guess. Obviously, some newer animals on the world we're introduced to, but also just some, every shot is obviously very, very extremely visually dense. Like there's just so much to be looking at.
Density's a good word for it.
Yeah. There's so much going on in every shot. And the shots are great, even though the action shots are still similar to what we've seen throughout the series, how dense these shots are. And that really kind of keeps you still intrigued, in what you're looking at. And of course, the big screen, the color, it is really interesting for me who, obviously has always been a fan of James Cameron, his films. You do think of Aliens, you do think of Terminator 2, and those films are like very, very like blue, to be honest. I guess they're just very cold films, and they kind of don't really, I guess, showcase the full spectrum of color. And obviously here in Avatar, it's you see every color, you see everything. Everything is so vibrant. So that is, I think, also another reason why the movie's great. But I guess to segue into the bad stuff, I will say, even though the world is compelling to me visually, I feel like the plot line isn't compelling emotionally, and that for me is a little bit of the downfall for me. But now I'm going to toss to you so you can complain about what you have, Joey.
All right. So again, did not see the second one.
Yes.
I just wasn't really like that compelled to go see it. But from what I understand, the plot wasn't that different from the second one in this movie.
Wasn't.
Right. So, I mean, yeah, that's definitely something to say. That being said, like I did enjoy the movie. I just definitely one of the better, more enjoyable for me, one of the better, more enjoyable movies that we've seen as a group together recently.
I like that.
That I would, I don't know, rate more highly.
Would you see it again?
See it again in theaters?
Yeah.
I mean, no.
Would you watch it at home on your own?
Maybe. I honestly, I think my opinion is maybe changed a little bit. I do feel like, because back, I don't know, I feel like I used to agree with a lot of people that'd be like, there's really nobody that's like Avatar, like that's their main IP that they obsess over. You know what I mean? I just feel like you have like Star Wars fans, Lord of the Rings fans,
right?
Like Marvel, DC, you have all that stuff. I don't know. I don't feel like there's not a lot of people that are crazy into the whole like Avatar thing, but like, I don't know. I do think that, like, again, from what I've heard about the second one, it was really underwhelming. But I am kind of interested just to see it now, just to kind of like fill in the gaps, I guess.
Might as well.
But I do feel like I feel like it does have potential. That's the thing that I see. I'm like, you're right.
Yeah.
James Cameron is like just like amazing,
Genius.
Yes. The casting, like in the acting, one thing I wanted to say about like the whole, like the suits that they wear, I think, and Mike would appreciate this, is I think that is like, even though they have the actors in the same room, it is like, it must be weird having all that gear on and then like looking at someone and acting like to them, like with that same gear on, and have that, like, to have that not be distracting for those people, to be able to like do their job and like use their imagination. And this is the part Mike likes, using their imagination to like imagine what the scene is going to look like.
Right.
When they, and I feel like they do a good, I don't know. It's kind of hard to say, but I feel like that's something to me that sticks out to me, is it's like
super impressive.
The fact that they're doing that mocap stuff, but it's like, they really, I feel like, had a good idea of like, I don't know, because again, this is a third movie, so they know what the characters look like, and they know, like, I don't know, certain kind of movements and stuff. I just feel like they did a great job with that.
There, when I was watching the doc, there was a part where, you know, Sam Worthington, Sully's character, or Sully's actor, I should say, they're filming behind the scenes as they're acting, and he goes to hug Zoe Saldana, and it's so weird because he has the suit on with the helmet and the thing. And he's like trying to hug her, and it's just like such like an awkward, clumsy hug. But obviously, like you said, I mean, these actors have the ability to put themselves, like in Pandora, you know, to kind of, you know, act this out correctly. So yeah, dude, kudos to them.
I think a lot of you see that a lot with the mocap stuff. When people hug, they kind of turn their heads away. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's very cumbersome stuff, equipment on you, so it is pretty crazy. What do you got? What are you complaining about? Let's go. Fire it off. Bang.
All right, so here's something, like, I'll just kind of start off with this. Something that I think you and I agree on is that I feel like it did not need to be, I guess you could say it didn't need to be as long as it was.
Did not.
Or it could have just had more good parts instead of just like plot lines that did seem kind of like filler.
Yeah.
And stuff where it was kind of dragged, like the plot could have been simpler for like everything that ultimately ended up happening, and like all the spectacle and everything. I just feel like it definitely could have been condensed a little bit.
Yeah.
And I also think we agreed that we wish that they like featured the Fire Tribe more.
Yeah.
Like that was the whole thing in the marketing, and it just seemed like it was more of just like, oh, we're fighting the humans.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? So
again, going back to that whale shit again, like the final action scene was the same setup as the final one from the second one, where they're coming in to get these fucking whale juice for money, and the Water Tribe and them are just defending the area. Like,
so like,
you know,
like let's just have a thought experiment real quick, because a little bit like kind of just, I don't know, I feel like this is fun, but like let's just try to like think of real quick like what else they could have done for just like a plot line, instead of it being like, because I feel like the first one they were like, oh, there's all this like these minerals unobtainium, right? That's what it was called. That like under the tree. That's why they wanted to destroy the tree so they could mine all that shit. And then in the second one, they're like, there's a new resource they discover, the whale oil, which I do think is cool. Like the whaling, like bringing that back. I don't know. I'm not saying whaling is like we should kill whales, but I'm just saying that like it is a cool, like the Dishonored video game series is like their universe, or that like world is all about like the whale oil powers their society and stuff. I don't know. It's kind of a cool like whale oil punk like kind of vibe. So I do like that, but then it's like, okay, so now do we continue? Like, let's say we're like writing the third movie. Like, do we continue that theme and like make a third resource that's like a new one that's related maybe to the Fire Tribe? Like, I don't know, like, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, who said it last night that there's going to be like a grass tribe or an earth tribe?
Michael did,
Did you say that, or you just were bullshitting?
No, he just sees stuff on TikTok and he's
somebody said that last night. But I can see that happening, and a new tribe, another mineral sort of deal. But I don't know, dude. I mean, if I don't know, dude, I would have made this movie more so about like the Water Tribe versus the Fire Tribe rather than the Water Tribe versus like the human race. And
I
the
think
Fire
I
Tribe.
think this third movie basically just like solidified.
I hope so.
That
dude.
we're gonna get that every time of just like it's
the
humans are always gonna be involved.
Around. Yeah, that's tough, dude. But I don't know, dude. Like again, we're gonna have like 3 more of these. Like, are we gonna be dragging that around every time? Like fucking Edie Falco as the sergeant, general woman, captain. Like, at what point does she become just like not strong enough to do anything? You know, like,
right.
Like they should be getting fucked up.
Yeah, yeah,
You know?
yeah. I mean, it is weird. It's like definitely like a huge stretch. Like you have to a huge suspension of disbelief to like be like, okay, these fucking like primitive native people could beat like an advanced. Like it's just this is not how that's ever happened in human history.
Yeah.
Like there's maybe like the very few examples of where it doesn't happen, but then like immediately after the next battle, they're gonna get steamrolled by the fucking more technologically advanced society. It's just how it goes.
Yeah.
So in a way, it's like part of me is like I kind of wish that they like it would be cool if like if it was like after the first movie, like they won and they basically were like, no, like you can't come back here. Like we'll fuck you up again. You know what I mean? And so the humans just like aren't around, and now it's like okay, focusing about all the other, like learning more about the world of Pandora or whatever. Well, is that what it's called?
Yeah, Pandora. Yeah.
Yeah. It's also the name of the planet in Borderlands.
Okay.
So just I don't know.
I'm trying to say here, like James Cameron ripped them off or what?
I don't know. I guess Borderlands. I don't know.
Came out in 06?
I don't know. I don't know what came first, but
I'm pretty sure Borderlands came out in 06.
no, Borderlands came out. The first one came out in 2010. I know that.
Sure about that?
Yeah, you can look it up. But
And it was after Avatar then.
Yeah, okay.
Because Avatar came out in 09.
yeah, Borderlands
First game.
2009. Okay.
2009.
There you go.
Oof.
2010, 2009. But closer, you know.
Well, I'm saying that same year then as it was released worldwide in October of 09.
You said 06 though.
I said that, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was earlier, yeah.
Yeah.
We're trying to say. I mean, you went over. So if this was Price is Right,
You're an
then
over-under
I would
guy.
win.
You love that.
No, Price is Right.
But either way, so I guess the thing is, yeah, like, do you maybe like take it in a new direction where you're like, okay, this isn't about. Like,
I mean,
like, okay, it's not about, or at least like you may say, okay, what if it was like, okay, instead of it being like we're trying to get the resources, what if they're like, all right, the humans like give up on that and they're like, we're gonna make like luxury resorts and like fucking golf courses on Pandora and shit, and they're like
that'd
fucking
be sick, actually.
I know. I'm just trying to think of like what other angle could like the human faction bring to the
Pandora
series
water park.
besides just trying to like. I mean, they're obviously gonna do that, but it's like they bring some new angle into it or something. Or just kind of like I said, or just kind of say they lose and that you know, now we're just gonna explore more of the world of Pandora and like the species that are indigenous to that planet.
Yeah,
you know,
I don't know. I mean, it's tough, obviously, but I don't know. I mean, I feel like James Cameron has set down this like theme of introducing more like elemental tribes. You know?
No, yeah, it is. It's funny because it's like Avatar: The Last Airbender. You know what I mean? That whole
And then
kind of
it's like,
thing. It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
all right, we have two Avatar things that have all this elemental shit, but yeah, I guess like I always found like the water tribe people to be interesting because it was like they were actually like physiologically different. They have like some like subtle fins on them,
Yeah, like
and stuff.
webbed feet or whatever.
Pretty sure they can like
the ability to breathe or hold their breath for a long
yeah, they can hold their breath
periods
for
of
a lot
time.
longer. Yeah,
So that's cool. Yeah, no, it is cool to see that. But yeah, I guess we'll see. I'll be interested to see what happens. Obviously, because the mother, spoiler alert here, you know, does die in the film, gives birth to a baby. I feel so bad for
the water tribe mother.
Yeah.
Yes,
Zoe Saldana's character. It's just,
Yeah.
she keeps getting handed babies that aren't hers. Like the whole
Yeah.
fucking like this whole franchise.
Yeah.
But in any case, it will be interesting to see where James Cameron goes with these. The next film is next December, I think, right? Is it next year being released or 2 years from now? I feel like somebody said that also last night.
I don't know.
I guess 2029.
Really?
All right,
It's a
so
long time, dude.
okay, here's the other thing.
What do you got now?
Maybe
What
we
do you
can
got?
cut to the wide for this, but so because
What are you producing the show now?
yeah, like so here's the thing that really gets me. I'm going to explain this first before I get up and kind of demonstrate this.
Okay.
I was saying this last night about action movies, and this movie does have plenty of action, and I definitely appreciate that about this movie. Probably one of the reasons why I enjoy it more than most of the movies we've seen recently. So the problem that I have with a lot of modern action sequences is it just turns into people just like it's just shoving each other around a little bit.
Oh, yeah, you were saying
maybe you
that,
get
yeah.
into kick, but so it's basically just here. You get to the wide.
I don't want to cut to the wide now that you keep telling me to do it.
Am I in shot? Am I here?
Yeah, you're in there.
All right. So it's like
You're at the edge of the frame right now.
I just want to get up and help me, but it's like basically they're just like, ugh, and then like someone might get hit, and then it like they're like exchanging blows, but not in a way that's like. It's just not cool.
No. I mean, it's funny. I cut to this. No, I understand what you're saying. It's like, you see it in a lot of action movies, especially when there's like John Wick, for example, when it's like one guy versus a fucking 100, and it's like John Wick is fighting one guy, and the guy comes up behind him and like grabs his shoulder.
Yeah.
Instead of like hitting him in the back of the head or something, he grabs his so then like John Wick turns around and like punches him, and the next guy does the same thing, and they're just kind of all shoving each other out of the way, sort of deal, as opposed to exchanging like fatal blows or something.
Right. So like and it's like the key word that I brought up this was like the first thought that I had after when we were exiting the theater. I was like I wish there were more like actual duels in movies now. That was something that like dude, nothing in my mind could ever top Phantom Menace, Duel of Fates.
So sick, dude.
Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan versus Darth Maul is one of the sickest fights ever in cinema. Like it's just so because it's like, it's also just like from like an eye candy perspective, you have the green, the blue, and the red, the double-sided red.
Yeah.
It's so visual. It's visually so cool. And the choreography was great in that entire trilogy. And the different styles, it's not something they ever really talk about a lot in the movies, but like it's observable enough that you can actually see like, these fighters have very different styles of how they approach combat. Right. So I don't know. It just, without going too far into it, like I want to see more duels. Like it would be cool.
But you're saying Avatar did not.
Like it had more of that. Just like we'll shove each other around. You get a punch in, and then I'll like take a rock and I'll like throw. I don't know. Just like there's just a lot of this like I said. It's just not. It doesn't come across as like fluid combat. And to touch on the other point you were talking there about like the fatal blows thing, like the Bourne series, like the Bourne
Ultimatum, Supremacy.
Yeah, what's
Identity.
the Bourne
Identity?
Bourne Identity is the first one, right? Yeah. Dude, like that. I mean, some people are critical of the camera work because that did like kind of start some of the. It started some of like the high shutter speed, shaky cam kind of stuff. So that's definitely, you can say what you want about that, but at least from the actual fight choreography, the thing that is really cool is they actually are going for killing blows. Like every time, like every punch, everything that they do in those fights. Specifically, what I'm thinking of is that first. It's one of the first action sequences with is it you're getting it ready? One of the first action sequences with where the assassin breaks into the apartment or whatever.
What are you talking about in
Bourne Identity?
I never saw those movies.
Okay, yeah, but just like it's so good. It is such a good fight scene, and they're doing like everything that they can to just fuck the other person up in the most brutal ways. So I don't know. I would love to see more of that kind of stuff. Like you said, like grabbing someone's shoulders. Like, dude, fucking like.
Yeah, come on.
If you were behind them, you would like, and if you're going for melee, you'd be fucking hitting them in the back of the head.
Or give them like a fucking German suplex.
Yeah, like someone Nelson or something. Like you wouldn't just like grab them by the shoulder. It's fucking stupid. So, that's the stuff where it's like it is a little bit. While I do appreciate that there was a lot of action and even the non like combat action when they were kind of like. Doing like fucking motocross tricks on the fucking animals and stuff. That was kind of crazy, but I was like, all right, I can appreciate that.
Yeah, some of that wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
Speaking of the animals, Jillian Dabari says too many animals died in this movie.
Oh yeah, that is another crazy thing where it's like they make this whole big point in that series where it's like when they like connect the braids, they're like really like, they're bonding with each other.
Right.
And then like there's a lot of scenes in this movie where like just one of their mounts, like one of their animals just like gets fucked up, like dead. Like remember like the squid shark things came?
Oh yeah.
And they just like fucked up the son's thing. Dude. I was like, dude, like that's your boy. What the fuck, dude? That is wild. And they just did not react to that at all. It's crazy. That I thought was definitely crazy. A lot of animals died. They brought back the fucking whatever his name is, the dragon guy that like the big like he's like the like he's like the vertical hammerhead.
Oh, that
like,
Sully was yeah. So
yeah.
Sully like had to like prove himself in the second one to the Water Tribe, and he like wrangled that guy in.
No, well, I thought that was in the first one. Didn't they have it? They
Was
had
it the first one?
I'm pretty sure they had him in the first one. Yeah.
Michael? Don't remember? I thought it was in the second one. That's why they think he was the whatever the hell.
No, I'm pretty sure that's where it
that's
comes
the first
from.
one?
It came from. I don't know. I haven't seen it in a long time, but I remember that guy from that beast, whatever, from the
first one.
from the first one. Yeah, and it was like a big point that he was like he wrangled it.
Yeah.
And it's like because honestly, if he didn't do that, like they would be like, dude, you're a fuccking weirdo, like
Execute him.
transhumanist, like whatever. Yeah, like
Wow, trans really.
transhumanist. Yeah.
Rub your phone on your shoulder.
Yeah. Yeah. So the combat stuff I wanted to touch on. This is something that I'm like, it's kind of like, I don't know. I kind of thought it was cool because of the way that this is the way that they handle it. Like, I feel like there was this movie did touch on racism in a way, but in a non-annoying way that I thought was because even though they Sully and his wife, like eventually both came to the realization that it just, killing him because it endangered the rest of the family. Just
Spider.
Yeah, killing Spider it wasn't right to them. They're
Right.
like, even though like it might seem like the easier, more practical choice to be like, he's putting the rest of the family in danger. We have to kill him because we can't just let him go because the humans will find him and then they'll possibly reverse engineer what happened to him biologically, and then it would be a disaster, right? So, but they both, even though they both got to that point, I don't think it like ever got to a thing where like the wife was like, where she was like, oh, I'm not racist anymore. Like she still hates humans.
Yeah.
Like she like that. I don't know. And especially like it is really cool. Like interesting aspect of like when they're arguing about like, when he's like, he kind of like is provoking his wife. Like you can just say it, like you hate humans and all this stuff. And
Pink-footed, whatever
like,
it was.
And she's just like, she kind of just is like admits, she's like, yeah, I fucking hate that part of you. She says that to Sully.
She does.
She's like, I hate that you're from that.
Like, I love that conversation, and that's why I think not only obviously Zoe Saldana is a great actress, but that's why she's my favorite character, is because like her arc is sick, dude. Like, like the fact that she's still internally battling with that fact that Sullivan and her children are now like at least part human, and Sully is a human.
Her children, or at the very least, are like, you could say like psychologically Navi human hybrids.
Right, exactly. Exactly. So like because of that, like clearly that's something that is, for the first 3 movies up until that point, it has always been on her mind.
Yeah.
And has not been spoken until that point. But it really does explain a lot about how how she acts, which is very, very volatile, I feel like, all the time.
She sticks to the
She's
tradition.
Always fucking down for action, dude. Like, and still at that point though, because she is, like you say, very traditional. Like, she's like, you're a fucking human, but like, you're my husband. I'm gonna stay and support you. Those are my kids. I'm gonna fucking die for them because that's what it is.
And I'm also gonna use the fucking rocket launcher arrows.
Yeah,
I will do that.
Exactly.
And that was like, all right, cool. Like it showed some growth with your character to be like, she got over that. She's like, I'm still using my bow, but I'll use these fucking explosive tips. Do some damage. Like actually have an impact on the battlefield. You know what I mean?
And it was great too, especially too because like, I mean, the whole they did a great job in like setting up that rivalry between her and fucking Varang's character. They were eyeing each other in the sky. They had a little quarrel, a little this, a little that. I'm stoked to see in the third one if they finally do have that one-on-one combat scene that we all wanted to see, but did not get in this one.
Like we got a little bit of like
the fourth one.
Mike's really cool. We got a little bit of a
You
duel.
said you wanted to see in the third one.
In the third one?
got
Oh,
it.
because this was the third one and the fourth one. So thank you for correcting me.
Erecting.
Thank you for erecting me. I am erect now.
Like we did get a little bit of like a focused combat sequence on the 2 women on the
You like that?
cat fighting, they call it, right?
Meow.
Yeah. No, it was cool because they're like both like they have.
You find them both attractive.
They both have cool combat styles. Like they have that primitive.
It's
kinda
really
thing.
funny because Joey's fucking tongue is green from the goddamn it Ghostbusters.
Dude, I didn't
thing,
expect. I didn't know what that was. I was like, holy shit.
Wait, is that the one that's right there in the hallway?
No,
That was
no, that's in the fridge.
Oh, okay.
Green, see
All
the
right.
green?
Yeah. We've had
It's like-
yeah.
Well,
Well,
I
I
don't
agree.
want to open one of them.
what?
I wanted one to not be opened.
One is up there though, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah, I
That's
hope.
the one that's not opened.
Okay,
Doesn't really
the one in
matter,
the fridge.
dude.
Oh, okay, you
we
can
can
have that
always
one, yeah.
get more. Like,
Yeah, no,
don't
we'll-
worry about
yeah,
it.
yeah.
You
I
can
thought
find
this.
those.
This
What are
was
you
stuff-
talking about?
There's a special edition.
No, you're a special
Yes,
edition.
they were. Yeah, I am.
All right, well, I think this looked like stuff that you guys don't normally drink. So I was
First
like,
of all,
I'll
you
drink it
keep
for
saying that, dude. I'll
Yeah,
drink
no,
anything.
you're right. No, Tony doesn't drink that stuff. It would have been drinking.
No.
Yeah.
First of all, drinking. Second of all, there are things like that in the fridge, and those are for like when I really need a drink and there's nothing else around. Like they'll be there.
So why don't you get some Sapporo?
Sapporo.
Yes.
Honestly, I was looking for it the other day. They didn't have it.
Bummer.
Yeah, that's why you get like whenever you see, it, you got to pick it up, dude, because they don't always have them. You know.
What did Jillian say here?
She says they are like, hey, these are sentient beings that are like people with the animals things. Yeah, I heard she cried a lot in the movie theater when she saw this.
Yeah, about like 8 times. I think I got a count of 8.
That's kind of crazy, dude.
I will admit that I kind of also do easily get emotional during watching. Like,
Did you cry during this movie?
Oh, I shed a tear. Yeah. They're like, I'm gonna judge him. He's a weak man.
You
Tony
de-
just doesn't have emotion.
You
towards
definitely wouldn't be
things.
Sully, dude. No.
No, you don't.
Who cried? What man cried in the movie?
I guess I did a little bit, dude. I don't know. I definitely.
That's what I mean.
I
I don't think there was any crying in the movie. Well, maybe Zoe Saldana's character cried. Maybe the water queen mom at some point was crying.
Dude, it was sad when the fucking mom dies right after giving birth, dude.
I know that was crazy,
That was
dude.
That was tragic.
You know
as
what really
fuck.
bothered me, dude, is when they fucking had their son die in like an eighth of a second, and no one really did anything. Remember?
In the water.
In the water when the son
Yeah.
got fucking hit by the things,
Dude.
and the mom was just like, "Oh," and they cut away to like some of the fight
so,
scene.
So
like,
that's an example of like I would have appreciated a little bit more screen time for them to address that
But see-
than to some other stuff that
But
they
see,
did.
I think that's like that's a fault of having all these characters in a battle because the same thing happened in the final Harry Potter series when one of the Weasley brothers, one of the twins died, fucking Harry or whoever.
Didn't he like die off camera or something?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And they like showed his dead body afterwards. Same thing with fucking the wolf guy, not Severus. I know I'm really bad with Harry Potter and the names. The wolf guy who was the professor, not Sirius Black, but the other wolf guy.
Okay, yeah.
whatever his name was. Like all of a sudden you show these dead people and you're like, whoa, like we didn't even see these characters die, and they're like major roles kind of throughout the series. But again, I mean, that's what happens when you have a giant battle scene with tens of characters, and you don't really have the ability to have all the screen time for these people. So,
Yeah.
and who knows? I mean, maybe they filmed it and they just got left on the cutting room floor, as they say in the business. But yeah, I think that because of that, it suffers a little bit because you're like, whoa, what the fuck, man?
I said this last night. One remark was that I feel like having like a broad group of characters works better in a TV series compared to a
like a limited feature length.
Yeah. I mean, unless you're honestly, it's like unless you're J.R. Tolkien or Peter Jackson, Lord of the Rings, then like, you can do whatever you want. Because honestly, those movies are perfect, and Tony hates me for saying that. But
I wouldn't say perfect by any means.
yeah, but I think they do a good job of being like they have
Nothing's perfect.
like the Fellowship is separated for like the second and third movie. And they do a good job at like they're not like all individually separated. Like there's Sam and Frodo.
The fucking trees, dude.
The tree, you hate that, yeah.
walking, dude.
Yeah.
Well, they were just kind of annoying. Those little hobbits, whatever their name was.
Those little hobbits.
Oxymoron, whatever you want, dude. Fucking Greg and Barry, or I don't know.
Merry and Pippin.
Pippin, yeah, dude. Barry and Pippin.
But dude, they're
Give me
like
a
they're the
break,
fucking like
dude.
potheads. You know what I mean? They fuck around, dude. They got like
They fuck around with each other, I think.
no, but they have apparently there's a huge. I didn't know this, but there's like in the book, there's a huge age gap between Frodo and the rest of the guys. Like
really?
Sam is actually quite younger too, but I think it's Frodo's like when they start their journey, when they leave the Shire, Frodo's 50. Isn't that crazy to think about? Like Sam is probably like in his 20s or 30s or something like that. And then like Mary is 13 and Pippin's 9. Like it's pretty fucking crazy, dude. Like
We don't need to talk about this right now, dude.
yeah. No,
Yeah,
Sorry, I know you're like, oh,
I'm not
wait.
talking Lord of the Rings
I
right now,
want to.
dude.
He's jealous of
Joey's
Lord of
sitting
the
here
Rings.
talking 9-year-olds. Let's final thoughts. Let's wrap this
Well,
up
hold on.
here.
Mike didn't say anything yet, and I'm pissed
Well,
me
because
off.
what do you want me to do,
say?
dude? Like he's not saying anything. How
What do
I
you want
can't.
me to
I
say?
can't
You
make
said
him say
What do you
anything.
mean? What do you want me to say? Like, have some
You
like.
guys didn't even intro me in. You guys didn't
Because
even-
you weren't here.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, but then you came in eventually.
What came
I
in?
did. I said Mike just showed
Yeah,
up.
Tony didn't cut to me.
What do you mean I have to cut? Because I'm fucking mid-sentence explaining the movie, dude. This is a show we're running here. This isn't
I'm
fucking
more important.
UNICEF,
Okay,
all right?
okay, but let's just say this. We're sorry.
Okay, thank you.
We're worse. Well, you're better than us in every way.
No, I'm not sorry.
Never show mercy.
But yeah,
No,
like,
I'm sorry
I
if
guess
that
like
offended you,
just
dude.
can you just at least give us one thing that you felt, even if it's something we said already, like what was like the main takeaway that you had from watching that movie?
I stayed awake the whole time.
That is a commendable thing.
No, I wasn't tired.
If your
at
name's
all.
Michael Theofil, it's
I
commendable.
wasn't
yes.
tired at all through it.
Yeah.
So, like usually movies make me tired.
Did you take a
That
nap
suck.
earlier or no?
A cat nap, but it doesn't count. I've taken naps before and
Okay.
and fallen asleep during movies.
All right. Well, I think Mike's gonna have hopefully a lot more. Hopefully, you're gonna be engaged with this next section. Talking like,
Again, Troy's trying to like produce a show, toss in the next
Um,
section. Like
I guess
crazy,
I
dude.
liked it. I mean, I liked the movie. I did.
Let's do. All right, so no, go ahead.
No,
Finish
what were
your
you gonna
point.
say? Go ahead, cut me off.
No. I was
No.
gonna say like we should do like final thoughts, rating.
yes.
All right, and obviously, Michael, you'll have extra time. You can go into any detail you want. Don't be a little prissy boy. Okay. So I'll start with Michael. Why not? You have the floor.
No, you start. Go ahead.
Final thoughts and a
My
rating.
first
here.
thoughts, technically.
First and final.
Joey's like so
Fourth
eager.
and final.
Have your own thoughts. I like the movie. I like the first one. Second one I didn't like that much. Because of Spider. He had a lot of runtime. Has a lot of runtime in this. He's a horrible actor. Even Jillian mentioned it when we were watching it that he's horrible. The dialogue too. Some of the writing was trash.
Fair. Yeah.
Like calling people buttholes and stuff.
Yeah, that's.
It's corny.
I don't know why James Cameron like lets that fly during the filming process.
There are a
right?
couple.
Like-
There are a couple times when like the Na'vi were talking to each other, and I'm like, they're just talking like very ghetto, like very American, like
interesting.
whatever.
choice of
Fill
words.
I
in
didn't
the
notice
gap.
that.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I mean, dude, he says something that I'm like, yo, this is what like a Gen Alpha kid would say. He was like, yeah, whatever, bro. And it's like not even the fucking human. It was like one of the Na'vi, the water tribe boys.
Yeah.
You would have hated the second one because they
Yeah.
said "bro" every 2 words. Those kids.
They,
The second
yeah, no.
one.
It's the way that it's because I know it's like they're saying brother, but it's like it's still just kind of like it does the way that they say it does come off a little bit like they could have tried a little bit to make the lingo sound unique.
Yeah.
I feel like it didn't. They just commented to adding to your dialogue point. I'm sorry to take over the whole thing.
ahead,
but-
go ahead.
You always do. No, the writing could have been better. I thought it was a better storyline than the second one. You know, I mean, was it about the whales in the second one?
That was the final. The final scene, the final fight scene was in the water with the whales again.
Yeah, but are you sure?
Yes,
I don't know if you're sure.
I am. What do you mean you know? I'm telling you, I'm sure.
Also, Barnes' girl was in this movie. You guys didn't mention that.
Barnes' girl.
Yeah, General Ardmore.
Who?
General Ardmore. Eddie Falco.
Edie Falco.
Edie Falco.
Why is that Barnes' girl?
Sopranos.
Oh, Carmela Soprano.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. That's
That
right,
was
dude.
funny.
That is funny. Yeah, she's the general. She's the captain. She's the You know.
Also, he definitely is alive. Stephen Lang, Miles.
Definitely.
Definitely.
He got scooped up by the fire chick.
Definitely.
Definitely
Yeah.
did. They're banging again right now.
On the
I
bird.
would have liked the sex scene, by the way, the alien sex scene. Maybe
Why do you want that?
because I think it's pertinent
you
to the
wanna
plot
see that.
line, dude.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I think it is important that we see that.
Why?
because in order to learn about this tribe and this,
You saw it in the
race
first
of
one. Go
people-
watch the first one.
No. But you didn't really see it like this one. This is like these are the savagery. This is the savage sex scene. Okay,
Why do you want the savage sex scene?
because I think it'll add to the storyline.
That's not why.
Yes,
Tell
it
the
will,
truth.
dude. I think it'll be good. I think James Cameron, like imagining
You were getting some
and
blood flow, you
executing
wanted it full-
this
full
sex scene.
blows.
Yeah, dude. I mean, listen, you're gonna like toss out this sexual tension between these two characters. You got to relieve it somehow,
Dude,
and they didn't relieve it, dude.
I know now why Tony doesn't like Lord of the Rings.
Why? Because they're fucking dudes.
No, why you like Game of Thrones better? Because there's titties in Game of Thrones.
There's way more than titties in Game of Thrones.
Yes.
But I will say, well, Game of Thrones is just better in general, though. Like,
No.
I
it's not
think,
even
I think,
close.
I think,
Especially with the way that it ended. It's
yeah, I guess you
absolutely
could
not.
argue that the first
No,
seven
you can't.
seasons.
It's not. You
dude.
guess. It is. You can. It's,
That's why I'm
it's not
saying
an
that. That's why I'm
argument,
saying
it's
that. That's why I'm
over.
saying that. That's why I'm
Like,
saying that. That's why I'm saying
Lord
that.
of the
That's why I'm
Rings
saying
ended
that. That's why I'm
better.
saying that. That's
It's
why I'm saying
better.
that. I mean, if anything, I would say that like season 8, Game of Thrones, the Hobbit series.
You're not. We're not talking about the Hobbit series.
What do you
Talking
mean?
about Lord of the
That
Rings
is
1
in
through
the
3.
world of Game of
We're talking about
Game of
Lord
Thrones,
of the
though.
Rings 1 through 3.
Yeah, I think most
Aren't
fans.
those like prequels though? Like why
mo-
can't you be like yeah
Yeah, but
include
those
them?
aren't. That's not the trilogy.
Like here,
The original
yeah.
trilogy.
So I'll put it this way: like
That's separate.
most Lord
Why
of
are
the
we
Rings.
still back to talk about Lord of the Rings? By the
Because
way, this
that's-
is fucking nonsense.
All right, well, you got me on it now. So I have
No,
to
I
say-
didn't get you on anything.
Yeah, well, you started. So basically, well, yeah, because you're fighting back. Don't fight back.
All right, fine.
Okay, so yeah, it's definitely a thing where like a lot of Lord of the Rings fans will like if you're like which movies in our series are we submitting to like the competition of like this movie versus this movie. Like most Lord of the Rings fans aren't being like they're not holding up the Hobbit movies to be like, look how good these are. They're like, if anything, they're like, all right, yeah, they were enjoyable, but they're like nowhere near the level of how
Yeah,
good.
but why can't I do that then? Just with the seasons of Game of Thrones, if you can do that
Because
with
Lord of the Rings
Lord of
1
the
through 3
Rings.
is a start and an end to a trilogy, and seasons 1 through 8 is the start and end to a show.
right.
So Hobbit is separate, even though it's the prequel story. It is separate.
It's a separate trilogy.
Yes.
Yeah. And I though I will like be generous and say that like I will entertain a conversation that if somebody's trying to compare season A through B of Game of Thrones to like one of the Lord of the Rings movies or even the whole trilogy, like I'll entertain that conversation. You know what I mean? But
Well,
like,
you're not though.
No, I will.
Okay.
I will, but just be polite and just like know that like yes, Lord of the Rings.
Final comments about Avatar, Fire and Ashes, and the rating.
I didn't also like how, and Jillian had mentioned this too, and Joey. It's really weird how they have Kiri voiced by Sigourney Weaver because she's a clone. It's like, dude, you sound like you're 70.
She sounds older than the mom. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like that was lame. Couldn't really buy it.
I said word. Ain't never told no lie.
Yeah.
Nice.
What else? I don't know. I like the world. I thought there would be other creatures they'd introduce. You're like, oh, the squid things. Okay, cool.
Calamari.
Like I wanted something else, especially when
Galamad.
the mother Gaia or whatever her name is. What's her name?
Oh, you're saying they should just out of nowhere just like been like
Mother
More
Gaia?
animals.
a new animal, like a helicopter animal.
No, but like there are obviously other tribes and stuff. And
Right,
it's a huge
Uh,
planet. There's obviously different animals.
Yeah,
why didn't all the animals come?
It would have been cool if like the Fire Tribe had like some like raptor thing they rode on the ground.
Dude, yo, you should. That's the thing. You got to write some shit.
I have to write some shit.
Yes, I want to. That's a fucking amazing idea. Like they're riding like velociraptors. And
That
shit.
would be sick, dude.
And just like because they actually like definitely have some good like they're willing to do like this person gets fucking decapitated or like,
Oh, yeah.
like especially in the first one they did some
Yeah.
brutal like deaths. And-
Even in this one, I love when they were doing like the fucking crab machines, and you saw one of the water people just stabbing the fucking crab machine glass, so the guy would fucking drown under the water.
Yeah.
dude. Like that's sick.
yeah, dude, like sick shit.
Yeah,
Fucking just
fucking
crazy, man. Even something as simple as just being like the wife just like zipping around on the fucking flying mount. Oh, she's a fucking pelican, just
Yeah,
like and just oh that dude. You say I know he's like dead instantly, but still it's just like fuck. You just got blown up, dude.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, sick, dude.
A direct hit into the fucking cockpit, like that's crazy.
Cockpit.
But also like Yeah, like the stabbing the glass. The son got. I feel like the Water Tribe son got done dirty. You know, because they didn't really like show too much of it, but he did got like pretty fucked up.
Yeah, he got like hit the.
Got like 2 or 3 in the chest.
Yeah, dude. But Michael, you had a rating?
Yeah, like 7.6.
I like that. 7.6 out of 10. Would recommend. Joey,
I'm-
final thoughts rating.
Yeah. So like, I'm there with you guys. I guess it just depends. And then I know I always bring this up every time, but like there is an element of like how you're like, what's the grading curve? You know what I mean? How are you weighting the scale? Like,
What do you want to hear?
like, is your 3 my like -1? You know what I mean? Like, I think there's like,
I think we said 3 is going to be an unwatchable movie.
I just feel like you're not utilizing the scale enough because I feel like
That's what you said when I said 5 was unwatchable. What do you want unwatchable to be? 1?
I think
Also, there's no negative numbers. It's 1 through 10.
I feel like it's fair to use negative numbers
No.
because if you're saying that any number is unwatchable, I think it should be 0. I think 1 should be it's barely good enough to watch, right? That should be 1. Okay. 0 is unwatchable, and any negative number is like that's how you use the negative end of the scale to rank how bad unwatchable movies are. Like that it's like it's kind of you're
But like, why can't I do that? But just like when the number 3 represents the 0,
because it's
like you're just making a bigger scale.
no, because it's a resolution thing.
Then let's just do 1 through 20 then.
You
If you're gonna go negative 10 to 10, let's just do 1 through 20. So no negative numbers.
I'm down for that.
Sure.
I'm down
Let's do
for that.
1 through 10, where 10 is unwatchable.
Because 20,
1 through 20, where 10 is unwatchable.
Okay, but 20 honestly makes sense as a scale system because it's like if you're going to use a 10 system but like have decimals, most people are just going to be like 0.5. I mean, you can't be like 0.3 whatever. I think fucking ridiculous. But if you're going to use if you're going to rate something a 7.5, that's just like you're on a 20 scale, that's just a 15. You know what I mean? So it's like, all right, like I like the math there. I like that. Tony just hates that I can fucking like I'm just getting nerding out about numbers and like the scales, resolution of scales.
Because you're just saying the same thing. Is what you're saying.
I want to
really,
say it
right?
every
It's
time
just,
because I want to
like,
beat
you're
it into people's
saying the
heads.
same thing I'm saying, but just with different numbers. It's the same concept.
I'm saying
it's
that
the same concept, just different numbers.
That it's like on the scale that you use. I will agree with you. On my scale, it would probably be. And keep in mind, like these other movies that we saw, a lot of them, like I ended up giving like a 3 or whatever, a 3 or 4. Like on my scale, it's really like probably like a 1 or a 2. But on your scale, a 6 is definitely at least a 6. If 3 is unwatchable, then I would say at least a 6. 7 if you're being really generous.
I agree with that. That's where I'm placing this movie around
Yeah.
like a 7.1,
Yeah.
7.2 area.
It doesn't matter. It's like either go to the 0.5 or don't.
Well,
even
it does
bother.
matter when you then start to compare it to other movies.
So then we need a 1 out of 100. If you're going to use that many, you're really just rating it 1 out of 100
why 1 out of 100?
because it's the same amount of digits just with a decimal.
But that's what I'm saying. It's the same thing. You keep saying the same thing I'm saying, just with different numbers.
But I like my numbers. That's why I'm saying that.
All right. Like, what do you want me to do? Like, you want to go gamble with your numbers? Go gamble with your numbers. Okay.
No, I'm just saying. I don't know. I feel like people a lot of times they'll be like, "Oh, we have to use a decimal system." When it's like, just make the numbers bigger. Just like add a 0 and like don't put the decimal. What is having or not having a decimal?
If Dewey Decimal walked in this room right now, what would you say to him?
That's completely different.
Why?
The Dewey Decimal System because it's not.
That's what I'm using.
No, you're not. The Dewey Decimal System wasn't that for like organizing books or something like that? Wasn't that what that was for?
What?
Whatever. Fuck. I thought that's what that was for in elementary school. The Dewey Decimal System was like how you actually found books in the library, like where they were.
I don't really recall that at all.
Okay, whatever. All right. So
What a waste of fucking time, by the way, that was for us, huh?
I think that this is good content, and you need to fucking shut the fuck up.
So you think it's bad content then?
No, I think it's great content. I think you make it worse.
You think I make it worse?
Yeah.
Because I want to use decimals?
No, because you're just trying to be like, oh, we can't talk about Lord of the Rings. We can't fucking nerd out about numbers. It's like,
Well, I'm just asking you for
be
a
grateful that
rating,
I even
really.
have something to say.
Why? Why would I do that?
All right, do you want to move on to Stranger Things?
I personally do not. I haven't watched the show. This is going to be your guys. This is
yeah,
all
but
you,
you can
man.
take a break.
You want to take a break?
I mean, you earned it.
Apparently, you fucking hate me. You think I suck.
Sound like me now.
Yeah, dude. Dear God, exactly. Thank you, Keith. 1 out of 10. Pick a fucking number.
No, Keith, no, because
And then Keith says, get a doctor's chart with the faces on where they show you how you feel. That would work for Joey. Keep it simple. And then he's laughing out of this. That's
I
for sure.
appreciate Keith.
But yes, I'm down.
Keith also wants to know why you're drinking that drink.
I mean, dude, I
Really? When did he say that?
I thought it was like a normal beer, like an IPA or something like that, but like
There it is.
this
Say
is
that. Yep,
it's like
yep.
a fucking Ivan Ooze green shit, you know?
Well, Ivan uses purple.
Oh wait, Julian did say
It's
they all
Teenage
Mutant
cried?
Green
Question mark.
version, green
Even
version.
Jake
Teenage
Sully
Mutant
cried
Ninja
when they were going to kill Spider. Oh, I guess he did maybe shed a tear. The only person that didn't cry was Spider because he couldn't cry. Guys don't fight in front of the kids, she says. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know.
All right. Well, do you? Is there anything you want to break it up with? Like, was there any other thing you wanted to do before we started Stranger Things? You want to?
No. I want to get it over with right now, actually.
All right, because I mean, like, this is gonna be a long episode. We've already talked a lot about Avatar.
I know.
You have to deal with
Jesus
it.
Christ, dude. No, yeah. I've completely lost control.
Yeah.
It's all right, dude. All right. Stranger Things tossing here to Joey, who finished the show at
Last night.
7 a.m.
So basically, how it worked last night was I watched like episode 1, started episode 2, then Tony came home, and then we went to the movies to go see Avatar, and then when I got back, I just binged the rest of it so that we could talk about it today. So I did a lot of work for you, for the viewer. Put in my
So be happy he has something to say.
yeah. You should be. I'm here. I'm trying to give a unique take on things.
You think your take is going to be unique?
I like to believe so.
Like about Stranger Things, you think you have like a unique take?
Yeah, because I had my initial criticisms.
I've
were-
heard some takes about it already,
Yeah.
and
my initial criticisms of it were like definitely different after, because like there were some
Okay.
videos that I was gonna watch that were like talking about Stranger Things like before I watched it, but then they were like, oh, well, I'm gonna spoil some stuff, so I paused it to be like whatever, and then after I finished watching it, I went back to those YouTube videos, watched them, heard their grievances and everything about what they didn't like about it, and then was but after like having my own thoughts about it, I didn't like watch them right away and be like, oh, this is what I think now because this is what they're saying. But it's like, yeah, I think I have somewhat of a unique take, especially considering how it seems like it was for the most part received very poorly. But I mean, I'm honestly like, Mike has been waiting to talk to me about this, so I'm kind of just like want to first just throw the ball to Mike.
classic.
He hates that.
He does. hate that
Yeah,
a
he
little.
just wants like he doesn't want to be involved.
It's fresh in your mind. I'll come with
I know,
you.
but there were things that you said you wanted to talk to me about it. So like, what do you think? Okay, first of all, you said it was like every other. You're like, oh, you know how like every movie now or every show or movie now,
Yeah, it doesn't end
like
well.
ends, and you're like, it's like that, which I kind of figured like, oh, it's a little bit disappointing, right?
Yeah, it was.
So, yeah, okay, go ahead. You have the floor.
Oh my god. I mean, it's been a while because I watched it as it came out.
It wasn't that long ago though.
It's pretty long.
Julian watched it too, right?
She did.
She can feel free to weigh in.
I don't know. I just I thought it was building up for an epic battle, and I didn't get that in the end.
That's what a lot of people felt. Yeah.
And they defeated it with fucking the hive mind or whatever. They defeated it pretty easily.
The hive
with
mind.
like an assault
Right.
rifle,
Yeah.
a
But
fucking
Dr.
slingshot with gas bubble things.
we just got to chip away at his hit points.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's like yeah, dude, we get it. You love D&D, like, oh god. Yeah.
And then like no demogorgons to
Right,
fight them
yeah.
there. They're all stuck in the upside down, I guess, was the reason. It's like Vecna couldn't call them over real quick.
Did you hear about the interviews that they had after it and like the reactions? People were comparing the comments that they were the Duff brothers, what are they
Duffer
called?
Brothers.
Duffer brothers. They were comparing the comments that they were making to comments that the Game of Thrones writers were making in response to all the backlash they were getting about season 8.
That's pathetic.
What do you mean? Pathetic that they would compare it, or like it's pathetic that it's
No,
at
it's
that
pathetic
level?
that it's the comments, at that
Yeah,
level. Because
yeah,
I know
yeah.
the Game of Thrones creators were saying basically how they had to move on from Game of Thrones. They were writing some Star Wars movie. I forget which one. but
Right.
They were like, yeah, by that time we were just kind of rushing through things.
Well,
so we
Jillian
can,
told me that
you know?
apparently one of the Duffer brothers got divorced, and she apparently had a big hand in helping writing seasons 1 through 4.
The wife?
The wife.
Oh shit, dude.
and she's not a part of the fifth one.
Yeah, no, that is
Sounds like some feminist propaganda, if you ask me.
Oh, no, at the same time,
I'm just
you know
kidding.
the story though about like how like Star Wars was like saved in the edit by like George Lucas's wife.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like I mean, yeah, like that's
I don't know.
understandable.
I just thought it could have been better, ending wise. I liked, and then like it was so like when Max and Holly were stuck in the dream state of Henry. You're listening?
I was reading Jillian's comment. Sorry
Okay, well, like what the fuck?
You're not a producer.
Like what the fuck?
All right.
What did I say?
about reading Henry's thoughts. Will was reading Henry's thoughts. Joyce.
Did I ever say Will?
Nope.
Thank you.
All right, so I'm a bad multitasker. All right,
I said
sue me.
it was like also shot like when Max and Holly were escaping the dream state of Henry,
Yes.
and like they finally see the bubble to like escape Tony.
Mhm.
Mind you, Max has been there and she's in a coma for over a year. She's been here. She finally can escape. And she's like, Holly's helping her, and she's like, right before, like they're like, I don't know, 40 yards from it.
Mm-hmm.
She stops Holly, and is like, "You can't come though," and she's like, "This is gonna wake me up in my body, not yours. So you have to go find yourself."
Oh.
Like, and it's like, what the fuck? And then like they're talking and talking. It's like a 5-minute dialogue. Henry could be coming at one or whatever. Vecna could be coming at any second. She's been trapped here for a year. It wasn't real to me. Like you'd be sprinting to that thing
Yeah.
as fast as you
Can
could.
we also talk about like the most awkward thing about that scene to me was like you see the two portals for the two girls, and like Max is like she gets to wake up in a hospital next to Lucas or with Lucas or whatever. And it's like you look at fucking Holly's, and it's like a fucking tentacle porn scene, like literally in fucking hell. Like it's like and Max is like, no, don't worry, you got it.
We'll find you.
Yeah, like dude,
Yeah.
like what the fuck? Like there'd be a certain point like with me, I'm like, wait, hold on, I might actually just prefer to stay
here,
stay in this fucking like if that's reality. There was some like I think it was like a Black Mirror episode like that or something, right? I forget which one that was, but it's where like this guy was like living in this like paradise world, and then like the girl that he was like in love with like wanted to tell him a secret, and then like she's like, "You sure not gonna freak out?" And he's like, "Yeah." And like the girl basically reveals that like she's actually like an alien, and it's almost like a Matrix moment where he like wakes up in the real world, and she's like sucking the life out of his body, like siphoning his like life force, and he's like withering away, and she's like, "No, I love you. Like I promise. Like, this is how we'll be happy in here in this imaginary world. Don't think about it.
Imaginary world."
You know. So yeah, I definitely think that like that element was crazy.
And I don't know, like the acting was good. My favorite characters, I guess, you know, Steve Hopper was great in this one. He's always good, but I don't know. He was pretty badass. He did some badass things. He was going to sacrifice himself and stuff. Didn't need to. Did you think that, what's the girl's name? Callie. Did you think she was going to be bad? Because that was like the thing when the show was going on that everyone's like, Callie's bad. Callie's evil. She's being used by Vecna.
I think that if they didn't have Vecna, they probably would have used her, right? I don't know though. Right? Like they would have used her as the villain if they didn't have Henry.
Jillian said Hopper went to my high school.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
What else did she say?
She, as in Jillian. Jillian says Jurassic Park reference got me fired up though.
Do you remember that?
What is it?
Jurassic Park reference?
Life finds a way. Is that what they said?
No, where the Demogorgons are coming in the hospital and they're like hiding.
Oh, that like, yeah, a very similar scene. Yeah.
Oh, behind like the counter, and they peeks through the window of the
Yeah.
fucking thing, dude. All right, that's cool.
they
That's
did
cool.
that.
That's
They
cool. I like
did
that. And then Joey also says it felt rushed and too many plot holes. Fan theories were way better, but it was nice ending. I made peace with it. Don't worry. I don't really know how else it could have died. And then I guess in terms of the woman, the wife, I guess Jillian says that she directed Fear Street, and that's that.
No, those are good comments. I mean, I do feel pretty similar to that. Like,
That felt kind of patronizing. I don't know.
what?
When you said that, the way you said that, I don't know.
All right. Well, I'll do better next time. No, I felt very similar to that. Like, yeah, definitely. I mean, I can appreciate that they're like, actually trying to like end it, right? And be like, this is an end. This is a definitive end to the series. We're done. It's only season 5. So many shows go on for fucking like,
Oh wow,
20 seasons or whatever.
he went to Byram Hills High School in Armonk, New York.
And you were like checking the validity of that?
What?
You didn't believe
Checking the
Julian?
validity.
No, I just wanted to. I didn't know where he grew up. I didn't know he's from White Plains. I didn't know he went to Dartmouth. Clearly, is a very, very educated man, and he also participated in gambling at underground poker clubs
Nice. We like that.
in New York City.
Tony loves that detail. Over under. But
Has nothing to do with poker.
I mean, you can over under anything if you want to.
Over under my dick.
That's a great clip. Tony.
It's fresh in
Monaco.
your mind. Give me some stuff and I could add to it.
Okay. So let me just kind of like say as a whole, I like the Stranger Things
Me too.
series. I think it's good. I think that it really suffers from this unfortunate thing of like, because like my understanding like was like when they first like the way they were marketing Stranger Things in the beginning with the first season, and I heard other people talking about this, like the original plan for Stranger Things
It was one season.
well, not even just that. It was I know there's another show that I'm thinking of where it's like it's kind of like a horror series, but like every season was like a different story. Like they might use a lot of the same actors, but they're like a different. It's like I forget. It's some horror series.
what are you talking
Jillian's
about?
gonna know. Jillian, tell us.
A horror
but
series
I have it
is
on the tip of my
different-
tongue.
like American horror.
American Horror Story.
American Horror Story.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that one.
that's that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I got the vibe, and I heard some like rumors that was supposed to be the original idea of Stranger Things. It wasn't supposed to only focus on this whole thing with this story of like Elle and Mike loves it. And all
he
these
cut to me while I was drinking.
yeah.
Yeah. Wow, you're spilling a little bit.
All those people.
I saw you wipe it. Like you looked, you're like, oh shit.
No, I
like
thought
that.
I thought it was something, but it wasn't.
Can you rub it like that again? Go ahead, Joey.
I think that it's interesting to think about what Stranger Things could have been had that been the case, right?
Are you saying that if you were in charge of it, it would be better?
No, I'm saying that it's
Okay.
just interesting to think about. Tony, this is a problem with Tony, with the way he thinks about stuff, and he just clearly like doesn't use his imagination at all. Like Tony's in way better shape than me, but he does not exercise his imagination nearly enough.
I think about a lot of things, dude.
The thinking is you think about stuff, but it doesn't mean you're using your imagination.
I imagine ways to kill you every night.
All right, well, I think
that,
that's a
dude?
good start. and I
Creative
appreciate that.
ways.
Yeah.
Oh, well, no, it's just interesting. I mean, obviously, you say like it's interesting to think of what it could have been, and it's like, well, I mean, you're the man who's accusing. Like you got to.
There's no accusation. It's
You're accusing the show creators of being like, yo, it could have been like this. Like that's what you're saying.
I heard rumors, and I'm just saying that this is how those rumors made me feel. As I was like,
Right.
that especially as the show went on, seasons 2 and season 3, in my opinion, were the weakest seasons. Season 2 probably the weakest. But season 1 was just perfect. Like was literally so well written and so they tied everything up. They tied everything up really nicely. Where like, especially at the end with Hopper, he's leaving the Eggo in the box, and it's like, and it has this cool because even though Hopper and Elle do not interact at all in the first season, like just that little scene at the end would be like, oh, dude, that's sick. He's gonna like, he's gonna take care of her. You know what I mean? He's gonna protect her. I feel like it was like almost enough, like the way they ended, especially with Will being like at the final scene, like they're at Christmas. And he's like going to the bathroom and he throws up like a piece of upside down basically. And it's basically like dun dun dun. He's still like cursed or like there's still a part of the upside down that they haven't resolved. And so it's leaving the door open for more. But like honestly, first season was perfect. And you know, I do think that in season 2, the whole introduction of like the other children, it was just a really weird like the fact that they did that in season 2 and then it was never a huge deal in seasons 3 and 4, because in my mind you're like, yo, you're establishing the X-Men. You know what I mean? Like you're establishing the fact that there's more than just L when it comes to like, you know, people with supernatural powers and stuff. And like, not for nothing, but like, again, what's her name again? Kai,
Callie, I think.
Callie.
Callie.
That is being an illusionist is insanely powerful. And the fact that they when they did season 2, like never returned to that. Never like even brought it up as a thing of like, it never became a plot point of like, yo, we gotta assemble the Avengers. You know what I mean? Like that's what I would do if I was doing this whole thing. Like, you know, because then they also when they with season 4, that was a really confusing thing for me in season 4 when they got to like Henry and how he like killed all the kids. It's like, all right, well then what was the timeline with like so that the kids, because you don't see any of those kids from what I remember, you don't in all of the flashbacks with Elle and Henry in the facility, you know, at the lab where they're being like, you know, where they're being taken care of and like, you know, done, you know, tests on, studies on and shit. Like, they don't show any of those characters from season 2 there. And they don't even try to tie in at all that they like were there, but then escaped before, you know, Henry killed everyone. Because Henry killed everyone. Like, you know,
He killed all of them.
Yeah. So for me, that was like one of the biggest, like, yo, what the fuck plot hole are we kind of dealing with here? You know, just not just exclusive to season 5, but just like in general with Stranger Things. Didn't really get that whole thing. I don't know. Like, did Stranger Things get renewed after the first season? Did they get renewed just for another season after that? And it was like one at a time, or did they get like renewed?
So.
They got renewed for like 3 or 4 more seasons, you know, something like that. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I really just don't. I feel like there are a lot of things throughout the series where it's like, I hate saying it this way. I feel like if you turn your brain on and you think about it for a second, you're like, this fucking is dumb. This is dumb as shit, you know? But that kind of gets like, there is this element of like suspension of disbelief where like, there's a lot of bullshit like that happens in the show where you're like, this is kind of silly. It doesn't make sense. But like the vibe of the show is so cool. Like they got the nostalgia element. You can hate it, you can love it, whatever. A lot of people like it. It just kind of shows it's really cool to see how life really was different back in the day. I just think they do a great job of that, of like showing like a lot of problems that a lot of things that they like, a lot of problems that they have in that world. Like imagine if they had cell phones.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They could like just like all these plot lines would just been nullified if they were like, oh, these characters just can text each other like videos and pictures of shit and just like, you know, communicate, have GPS, all this stuff. Like the whole idea of the making their own maps and like, you know, it's fucking cool. Like they got what did we call that in school back in the day? It wasn't like a projector, but it was like the thing where they have the translucent paper and
I forget
what they called it, but I was like, I remember those.
Yeah.
That was cool. Yeah, there's like a lot of the cool nostalgia stuff I'm really into. But then also just like the whole.
You like the Will scene the best though. That was your favorite.
Oh, so here's a unique take on that.
Unique.
We'll get to that. I actually do think so many people like do. I don't want to say this. There were a lot of takes that I saw online being like in the memes and everything, just being like this scene really like didn't make a lot of sense for him to do this right there. And I'll be honest, I do kind of agree with the crowd that it was like that was legitimately an important thing for him to resolve before going into the final battle, especially because he is in fantasy speak, he's a magic user. Like the stability of a magic user's mind is very important, right? So if you're like, and that's something that like we, you know, is not uncommon, you know, in fantasy tropes for it to be like, you know, telepaths or whatever that have like insecurities and weaknesses that all that stuff can be exploited. You do like a slow fade. I was like, what is that? You got a slow fade going on there? Yeah, that's sick.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
you act like you're kissing Michael.
Mwah.
Oh wow!
I don't think that scene was as unwarranted as people said it was. I think it did make sense, and I honestly kind of forgot about Robin being gay, like her being lesbian. And I was like, and then once that started to kind of come in, I was like, wait, this actually like has a way that this does tie in and like affect the rest of the group. And he had a way to like talk about it with you know, he had someone to talk to about it before he like brought it up to the rest of the group, you know? So like, you know, and yeah, like I do think that it is like, especially back then, you know, it was a big deal to like come out to your family, you know, they really genuinely like a lot of people like, especially, you know, because I noticed like Hopper didn't say much in that part, and I'm like, this is a fucking Vietnam veteran dude. He definitely thinks he has some opinions about Will being gay. You know what I mean? Like, like if you're trying to be like realistic, like a Vietnam veteran being like, my son's gay or like whatever, like, you know, this, like, it's like, dude, that's not. A lot of those people just like that's not something that they were okay with. You know?
Yeah.
So like, it's kind of interesting that they didn't put a lot of emphasis on his reaction in that part. I thought that was funny because that was kind of one of the things that I was thinking about when I saw all the memes. That was like one of the few things that got spoiled for me was like the him like coming out scene, and that they made a huge deal about it. People did say that like the final battle scene was like shorter than that, and yeah, no, dude, the final battle scene was definitely longer. But it is just a lot of this stuff that you get that I feel like does drag out the plot a lot of like these like melodramatic character conflicts that get resolved in like an episode or two. Right? You know, every time there's no like this, like there really isn't a lot of like lingering stuff. I guess like one of the only ones you could really say was like character conflicts, I guess, would be like Jonathan and Nancy. You kind of could tell after like especially after season 2 that like their relationship wasn't perfect. Like they weren't soulmates. You know what I mean? They were just kids infatuated with each other. You know what I mean? And then you know, they eventually both grew up and kind of like, you know, Jonathan turned into a little bit of a pothead. You know what I mean? He kind of like doing the kind of just. You know, they had a thing, and they were like, she's like, oh, I always hate when you're high, and he's like, oh, I always hate when you're drunk, and it's like, yeah, they just kind of like they just weren't vibing, you know. That was one of the only things I could see where it's like they had this like continuing conflict with characters through multiple seasons. I don't know, maybe I'll eat my words on that. Maybe there's just something I'm not thinking of, but like, for the most part, I feel like a lot of stuff gets like. It'll be like they'll two characters will have an argument, and then like they'll go their separate ways, and then one of them is in trouble, and then the other one comes back to save them, and then they hug each other, and they're like, I'm sorry, and they're like, I'm sorry, and then they like, it's like, all right, everything's fine now, and then they'll like the next season they'll do that same fucking thing. It's like, you guys already dealt with this should be behind you. You guys dealt with, like, how many times are we going to have a thing with Hopper and Elle being like, no, I need to protect you. It's not safe for you to go out there on your own. You're not ready. Like, all this, it's like, dude, like, how many times are we going to do that? Like, she's the best out of anyone here when it comes to like dealing with a threat. Like it's Elle. Like Hopper, there's certain time. Like I love Hopper as a character. Don't be wrong, but like that is some stuff where I'm like, dude, like get over it, man. Like he is in a way. It's almost like he's kind of jealous. Like he's thinking about like, you know, that scene with fucking it's a random thing, but like in the Watchmen movie when Dr. Manhattan is like walking, like swinging his dick over Vietnam and just like winning. Like, you know, I'm like thinking about that. He's like, man, what if I was like fucking had Elle's powers when I was in Vietnam? I could just fucking blast people. I don't know. Maybe he's thinking about that. Like, I don't know. I would definitely to be like, man, imagine all these fucking times that would have been useful. Like, because Hop is he's a soldier.
Mhm.
You know, he's a fighter. He is like a fighter. And Elle is also like, I guess like in their whole like D&D comparison thing, she is more of like the wizard, I guess, or whatever. But or I guess I don't know, sorcerer or whatever. But they like, you know, she definitely is the strongest fighter of the whole group. And there's a lot of times where I'm like, dude, you got to just fucking like, just let her off the leash. Just let her do what she wants to do. And then when she gets in trouble, that creates kind of cool conflict where it's like, okay, now we need to get back our strongest soldier and we need to get him up into fighting condition as soon as possible because we need them. You know what I mean? I don't know. I think about like the Avatar Last Airbender, like at the end of season 1, where like, is it the end of season 1 or season 2? I forget. Maybe season 2 when like Aang gets really hurt. And it's like this whole thing where they have to like retreat.
2.
And yeah, it's the end of season 2. That's right. Yeah. And they have to like,
2.
you know, it's kind of like a I don't know, it's like a cool, I guess they kind of had that for like season 4 where like Max got fucked up. You know what I mean? At the end of it. But I don't know. I think, you know, I guess, and they, you know, they did the whole thing in, what was it season 4 or season 3 where like Elle loses her powers?
Yeah, it was one of those.
Like, why? Like for nothing. Like I don't. They try to make it to be this thing where she's like got inner conflict and like this stuff. Like, dude, like I don't know, man. I'd be so fucking like if I had those powers, I'd be so fucking happy all the time.
Yeah.
Like that shit is that's being like telekinesis, especially just like nondescript. I can just move any matter with my mind. It doesn't have to be a certain element. It doesn't mean whatever. Is I can just do any telekinesis I want. Like you even see Vecna, he like holds the flamethrower flames back. Like so he like has like some. It's like it is some shit you would see in Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's like the most versatile form of telekinesis. Is raw telekinesis. Raw. Tony likes raw. But like. Yeah, I don't know. That would be sick to have that, and just like it gets kind of annoying to be like, dude, like you are like one of the coolest characters, like probably the coolest character. She was the thing that like got me into the show in the first place. The whole way I got into Stranger Things was I was at my mom's house. My older brother was over, and he was watching Netflix, and he was watching Stranger Things in the basement. I think it was like episode 3 of season 1. And it's the one where like they like Elle isn't like cooperating with the experiment, so they like go to put her in the solitary confinement room, and she fucking just like unleashes. She just telekinesis the door open, blasts the 2 fuckers behind there, and it's like I don't know. I'm really into that. Like just I think telekinesis is one of the coolest superpowers in the world. It's just straight up. So that hooked me right away to be like, yes, I'm in. Whatever this is about is fucking like government conspiracy shit. You know, doing experiments on children, paranormal, they have superpowers, you know, mystery, what's the underground? Like, I don't know, dude. It's just so I was just hooked. I was hooked on that. I guess I kind of do need to like just kind of reel it in a little bit with season 5 here. I'll kind of like get into the meat, the potatoes for the season 5. Yeah, I didn't really have a huge problem with the Will coming out scene. I honestly thought that was fine. I do like Will as a character. He has always been, I am really frustrated that it took them this long to do this with Will, where they were like, Will has powers. Like,
Well, it's only because of Vecna, though.
Yeah, but in a way, also Elle only has powers because of Vecna. You know what I mean? I mean, yeah, it's through like more like biological. She has his blood, all this kind of stuff. Like, I get that, but like, I don't know. I think that they really should have done more. Like Will was just always so helpless in even most of season 5. Like he is very helpless a lot. He's like always playing like the damsel in distress. And I get it for the first season. That was another thing that I don't want to go back too much, but like in the first season, he was like the whole crux of the story was on getting Will back. He was the damsel in distress. He needed to be, he was, you know, Princess Peach, you know, in Bowser's castle. Like he needed to be saved. Right. But like, I figured that for like going forward, they'd like pick a different character to do that too. I just felt bad for Will, like always being the role of like, he's helpless and he's being the most like affected by this and everything. And like that got kind of old for me after a while. I was kind of like, I really like Will. I like that he is like the wizard or the mage archetype in the group. out of like the boys, right? Mike, Dustin, Lucas, and Will. Like I was like, I want to see Will be more useful to the group and not just constantly be like he's like a conduit with like connecting with Vecna and stuff like that. I don't know. I felt like that really needed to. They needed to do more with that. I'm glad they finally did something with it with season 4. Best scene with that probably was when he like honestly the first time he taps into those powers and he just fucks up the Demogorgons. Like he basically does to the Demogorgons what Vecna did to Max and what was the other girl's name? She's the cheerleader. I forget. Whatever. But she dies. She gets fucked up. He like snaps. He like contorts them into the air and snaps their bones and shit and like pops their heads off and shit. And so I was like, finally, you guys are doing something cool with Will. It sucks that it's like now it's like the show's basically over. Like you can't do any. Like I'd like to like I would have loved to ride that out. You know,
Ride Will.
Oh, you love that. But I mean, it's a little annoying. That's the other thing that was just really annoying of like, they make this whole thing of like Nancy being the only one that's like, besides Hopper, like she's the only one that's allowed to use guns.
Yeah,
like,
weird.
Come on, dude. You guys are fighting interdimensional beings. Like and even though guns don't like kill them, like everyone should have a fucking 12 gauge shotgun because that at the very least staggers them, it pushes them back. You know what I mean? Like you have to unload a fucking like automatic weapon into them or like blast them with a shotgun and that like pushes them back a little bit, you know? A lot of insane levels of plot armor in this, especially in this season, where you see even with like within the same scene when the Demodogs are coming after Lucas and Max, and when they first like get they get the soldiers, there's like, dude, those guys are like they should be like trained in some way to like, I don't know, their training should because even Hopper says that like these guys aren't grunts. Like they are like to have that level of clearance to even like be able to like be stationed on a secret lab. Like they're gonna want some quality henchmen. You know what I mean? They don't want just fucking the bottom of the barrel. So like, but like yeah, they just get fucked up by the Demodogs. And then like as the fucking elevator's closing, Lucas just kicks him.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Like, I don't know. That's just like a little crazy. And also there's like a lot of times where it's like, first of all, I don't know, Mike's like the Wheeler family, like the parents should be dead. Like if I was a Demogorgon, I just like, okay, I'm just gonna cut your head off. I'm gonna go to the next person. I'm just gonna cut your head off. Like, I'm not gonna like play around with this like slash you across the chest.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Kind of stuff. It's like, dude, no, I'm gonna fucking decapitate you. Like you're done. You know. This is one of the cool things I love with Vecna is like one arm that can like extend out and like get people. Like this one specific shot where this guy is like he's like this. He's like he's like crawling. And then like Vecna's not in frame. He's out of nowhere. You just see like Vecna's hand just like blast through the back of his dude's skull, like through his eye holes. And shit. And I was like, damn, that's fucking sick, dude. I was a fan of that. But I mean that's how you should do it. You're killing like and also this is the last season. Like I am definitely kind of like I'm one of those people where I'm like, please just don't kill your main characters like all the time. Like that's something that kind of bothered me about Game of Thrones was like, dude, like it is kind of annoying, like to just get invested in these characters and then be like, oh, like you're just gonna like they're not. That's seemingly like the whole point of the story is these guys, and then they just lose and they're dead, and you're like, all right, I get it, cool. You're trying to be edgy, like I'm different, like yeah, you don't know, like, he's deserved no plot armor, he's deserved design, like dude, okay, cool. You're fucking cooler than me, right? But I don't know. Definitely a big like 80s action movie guy. Like I like just it's cool to just have the good guys win. You know what I mean? Like you can still have tragedy. You can still have characters die. Just like I don't know. But here's the thing. This is season 5 of a show where basically the apocalypse, like this is the end of the world essentially. If they fail, I think you're allowed to kill off like a majority of the cast. In my opinion, I think that would have made the show better if people were actually sacrificing themselves like for the mission, you know? Like Hop wanted to do it at a certain point. And they always do this thing where like they never like did they ever really ever kill off a main character? Besides like in
Yeah, they killed Billy or whatever his name is.
No, but those are okay, here's the thing is those are characters that are introduced in that season. Right? Billy, Eddie, right?
Yeah, so all the main ones are still there.
Right. None of the main characters are ever like actually at risk of dying. I mean, Tony, you got to like at least have some like thoughts on that. Like that is a little annoying, right?
No, yeah, of course it is. I mean, that is it kind of. Again, I haven't watched the show. I haven't watched really anything past like the 5th episode of season 1. But I mean, yeah, I mean, again, to go back to Avatar, it's like that. It's annoying when it's like there's so many of those moments where it's like you think someone's about to die, last moment somebody gets saved, something happens, and that happens over and over and over again, and no one really, like, it just seems like there's no consequences, you know, like no one's gonna die, and like that kind of takes away like that. I feel like that thought of like, oh, like they haven't killed these people off, like it's not gonna happen, like that takes away from the show. I feel.
Yeah, it definitely, you know, it takes the, you know, the whole like the stakes, right?
Exactly.
You want to
like,
know
like,
that
you're
like,
not on the edge of your seat because you're like, oh, like they're not gonna kill this guy off. They
yeah,
don't, you know.
That's you know once that kind of became clear in the show, you're just like anytime something's scary, like something that normally would be scary, like the Demogorgon should be like every time they show up, someone should die.
Yeah.
And not just like throwaway characters. Like it should be a problem. And it's like the only time it doesn't happen is when Elle is there.
Mm-hmm.
Or like Hopper fucking like, I don't know, maybe Hopper does something, but like,
yeah,
you know.
Jillian does say it got so corny. I think that's
Mike's.
I just lost your mic. You can't like you can't like have
Hello?
that. You can't like have that hanging on like.
Hello?
hanging
No,
on
okay,
it,
go ahead,
dude.
read the comment.
Good now, yeah.
so corny.
No, stop like putting it to your chest like that and put all the
Hello?
pressure on the XLR. Yeah. You're good.
It got so corny. I think that's the biggest disappointment. Season 1 was so atmospheric and spooky in comparison. If they were able to at least keep the vibe consistent, people would have been more content, I feel.
I 100% agree with that. The first season had the best vibe, had the most mystery, was legitimately scary, like actually like felt like horror.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's definitely like a huge
You love
disappointment.
Dr. K.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, she was my least favorite. I
Yeah,
think out
me
of
too.
anyone.
She was so
fucking
annoying.
face, dude.
Linda
oh,
Hamilton
Oh my god,
was in it.
like bony ass face, dude.
Terminator.
Sarah
That
Connor.
was her.
Yeah.
Sarah Connor.
I was like, that kind of looks like that bitch. I was
Yeah.
like, damn.
Wow, dude, that
Fuck.
bitch.
Apparently, though, that movie wasn't that bad.
Get a few drinks and Joey.
Was that apparently? I never saw it, but the Terminator movie with the chicks. Apparently, like it actually wasn't that bad. I don't know.
What?
All right, whatever.
The Terminator movie with
she's
the
the
chicks.
original Sarah Connor from Terminator 1.
Yeah,
and
what are you
2.
talking about?
They made one movie where it was like all girls.
Talking about like Terminator 3, Salvation,
No.
with the blonde bitch
No.
as the Terminator who came in and Claire Danes.
No.
Then
I saw
don't know
the
what
three,
you're
not
talking
the
about.
three main ones. The three like whatever. All right, so listen. Here's really how I feel about this is like
You haven't said how you feel yet.
so no the military. We got to talk because we got to talk about the military and like Dr. K.
Dr. Zhivago.
I guess I don't know. I just yeah I don't like. They should have just waited to kill off the other guy. You know what I mean? In season 4, right? Don't they kill off the Papa or whatever?
Papa?
Yeah. Like I don't think it's weird for them to just at the last season introduce a new guy. And in a way, they kind of did like justify it by the point was that like they were like, look how easily they replaced Papa. They're like, if we kill this woman, they're just gonna replace her with someone else, and they'll never stop hunting Elle. Like that was like a huge point. Fair, I get that, but still, it was kind of like, you know, then maybe kill off Papa, like a little bit, like not in at the 4th season, maybe in the 3rd or the 2nd season. So we kind of have that theme of like every season we get a new fucking villain. You know what I mean? That would have been cool. Yeah, I feel like the military is fucking crazy that like the big, I think this is the biggest thing that I do agree with that people talk about in terms of plot holes with season 5 is at the very end when they finally come out of the portal, they got the spike traps and they stop the car. It's like, yo, Hopper and Nancy killed so many soldiers.
Mhm.
You're in jail
Mhm.
forever.
Mhm.
Like it's just like they really needed to do something where they thought about that. They're like, we can't just come out of the main gate again because they're probably gonna fucking expect us. So we gotta like open a new portal and then come out that way, so we don't come out where they expect us.
Yeah, but then they just got let go after.
No, but I know, but that's what I'm saying is like that's why it's fucking this whole thing is stupid, because it's like they should be in jail, but then it's like I guess because L isn't there anymore, they just like, all right, I guess we just don't care.
Yeah.
You know? And maybe there's this element of like we don't want. No, they would just do any like actual government, like military, all those people would just be fucking dead.
Mm-hmm.
Every single one of the main characters, like way too much.
Mm-hmm.
You're dead.
Yeah.
And again, it could have been okay. Like angles they could have taken or directions they could have taken. This is like, maybe they get like a sympathizer on the inside. You know what I mean? Maybe he becomes a main character. He or she becomes a main character. Where you have like this soldier with some level of clearance or whatever, that's like actually like is like, yeah, like the things we're doing here is fucked up. And like when he realizes like, yo, these fucking dumbass scientists are like might actually cause the end of the world. Like I want to help this group. Then that can become this whole thing of like, okay, now we have a guy on the inside that can help us more easily and more logically explain how they were able to like get off the hook or something. You know what I mean? I don't know. I think that would have been worth it. They spent a way too much fucking time on Holly. She got she got more screen time than any character in this season. Like she was a cool character, but it was just kind of like, wow. Just a lot of that. And Henry, living in that was his mind, living in his memories, right? Is where they were. Yeah, I don't know. I just really like felt like that just got way too much screen time. The fucking I think what is it? Aren't Jonathan and Nancy stuck in that like melting room for like a whole episode?
Yeah.
Like, and that's a trope, right? Because aren't there, Tony? Aren't there a lot of like that is a like trope of like a type of episode you see in a lot of shows where two characters are locked in a room together and they like the whole episode is just about them being in the room.
Yeah, of course.
And I mean, obviously in Stranger Things they had other stuff going on.
Okay.
Right. But every the entire episode they kept cutting back to Nancy and Jonathan, and it was basically like their breakup scene. It was like saying how they were like Jonathan was going to propose to her, but he like kind of like knew that wouldn't fix anything, and like it was fine, but it was kind of annoying. It's like I don't like, please just don't be in that whole fucking episode and just do nothing. It's the most like frustrating thing when it's like they take characters and it's like I was kind of talking about this before with the melodramatic like moments where they get into these arguments and I'm like, guys, you got to just fucking lock in, like just fucking fight Demogorgons and shit. Like I that's what I want to see. I want to see like I don't know. I just want to get to the meat and potatoes of the story, and it is a very character-driven story. Okay, that's one I'm just kind of thinking of now. It's like it is very character-driven, but a lot of the character-driven stuff isn't really like central to the actual plot, which is like this whole world-ending thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like this whole upside down. It's like kind of completely separate to the to what's going. What the characters are going through.
Julian says Mrs. Wheeler 8.
Like I thought she was good. I thought Mrs. Wheeler was good. Especially the scene where she was like protecting her daughter, 100%. That she was definitely a lot of respect for her there. The husband, they obviously made him to be like they really fucking disrespect that husband. They want him to be like that classic fucking like clueless dad, He's playing golf outside. I mean, and then comes in. When he comes in, it's at the last second and just immediately gets knocked out. Also, again, like you're gonna fucking slash the mom and then just like punch the dad in the face.
Yeah.
The Demogorgon is gonna punch the dad in the face. Like,
you're gonna eat him.
Or I guess he like flew him against the bookshelf and he got concussed or whatever. But like, yeah, I don't know. Like, Yeah, and then I guess like kind of going on to the final battle thing, because I know that's where a lot of it's the finale, because I do think that for the most part that I did enjoy the majority of the season. The final episode is definitely where a lot of stuff really starts to fall apart. It's where all the biggest plot holes are. It was very easy for them to defeat the Mind Flayer and Vecna. And I do appreciate that they essentially they confirmed that it's like, yo, this is ultimately like the evil entity here is the Mind Flayer. It's like this, like, Henry is a being from our world that got like thrust into that world and then got corrupted by it. But like the Mind Flayer is like native to that fucked up world, and I liked that they solidified that they were like, especially in the scene that kind of like essentially explains how Henry got his powers,
Yeah, they did.
I don't know. It's cool that they explain that, but it's also like, all right, dude, like, where the fuck did that artifact come from?
Yeah.
It's like, I get it's cool, but it's like I would like something a little bit more conclusive. Still leave me asking questions, but being like, it really is this whole thing of like, where did they get that artifact? Like, in a way, I'm kind of like, yo, give me a prequel series on that. Like, show me show me how that happened, because that's fucking crazy. I did like the wormhole thing where they explained that like the upside down actually wasn't the alternate dimension.
Right.
That was the bridge to the alternate dimension. I actually really liked that, because it was cool, because it was basically like it was a hybrid of the two worlds. It was Hawkins, but with all the weird tentacle shit. And then you go into the other world, and it's like this like Mars looking planet with all this weird tentacle looking shit. They
do have the play on Broadway, which is Henry's story. It's a prequel.
Oh, okay.
Canon. So
Yeah.
I think over there it explains it.
All right. I guess I'll have to look into that. But
Jillian left a comment about it.
she did.
They explained the artifact in the play, apparently.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I actually am interested to see that then.
Go see the play then.
I'd go with you.
Excuse me. Clear my throat. Mike's upset. All right, so I guess, yeah, final battle, really underwhelming. This is something I do agree with a lot of the complaints here, saying that like, or a lot of the complainers being like, this is supposed to be the home world of all this fucked up shit. And when they get there, there's nothing. It's literally a fucking desert. And it's all that's there is Vecna in his lair, which turns out the lair is the Mind Flayer. You know what I mean? Yeah, I just really like, that is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
And a huge missed opportunity could have made, it could have been a cool thing for them to write around. Have been like, because all right, see, that's something where it's like, if you took what I was saying before about having like kind of doing something where you're like teaming up with some faction of the military and like allowing the military to have some potency when it comes to dealing with these threats. It is a kind of fucking annoying that they've been the military, these like secret scientists they know way more about a lot of this stuff, or they have the most time dealing with this stuff, these experiments, these creatures and stuff like that, than anybody else. They should have figured out a way to fucking kill Demogorgons, at the very least. I mean, Vecna, like with the telepathy is kind of telekinesis, telepathy stuff is difficult to like, especially with his fucking hand, you can just fucking skewer people. Like, it's tough to deal with. I get it. But like, they also did talk about stuff like, they never used like, was it heat or cold that like wakes them back? I forget, but they established that in the second season, like the temperatures
was in the fifth.
In the fifth, yeah, but like remember with like they were like gonna do in the second season with Will, they were like, I guess, cooling him down. They were like putting him in an ice bath so that he could like allow the
water.
That like makes it easier for like the colder the temperature, the easier it is for all these like weird interdimensional forces to like be potent and like be dangerous. You know, when they're hot, it's like, oh shit, it's like they're like very fatigued and everything, you know? So it's like you'd figure that they would have some like the flamethrowers are just like heat guns, radiation, like microwave guns or something like that. Like they called it the Hedgehog, which was like this thing. It was like a basically like a superpowered jammer. So like if they've shot it at somebody that had like a supernatural ability, it would like spatially stun them, and they like have this like irritating like sound in their head or whatever, and they couldn't like shake it until the thing was turned off. So they had that, but you figured that they'd gone through the effort to develop some technology to deal with like those people. It's like you'd think that they would come up with some way to deal with the Demogorgons, and then like having a cool battle scene where they like basically all unite. They get at least somebody at some level on the fucking military to say, look, dude, like, I know like we're asking you to like disobey orders here, but like the world is going to fucking end, and you guys are going to be responsible for it if you don't fucking help us out right now and like charge in to like fucking like Ride of the Rohirrim, just fucking Humvees, all this crazy shit. Like imagine them opening like a fucking Avengers like Endgame thing where they open up a bunch of portals and fucking tanks and fucking shit, and there's just like millions of Demogorgons and shit, and they're like imagine what that could have been. Like this fucking epic battle scene of just mad, you know, and you could have had like you could have had your cake and eat it too. Like now you have a bunch of like nameless military dudes that you can just kill off, have a brutal ass fucking battle, you know. Like in my mind, I'm kind of thinking of the battle at was it Winterhold or was it
Winterfell?
Winterfell, with the ice people, the what do they call them again? In
The White Walkers?
The White Walkers,
Mhm.
yeah. That whole battle, and it's like how like these guys are like actually like probably one of the scariest versions of zombies that you could, probably even more scary than like the 28 days, weeks, years zombies. You know what I mean? Because they're like, it's like, I don't know, whatever. But that's like having that level of like, they could have had this epic battle scene with like, just like I don't know, fucking cool Cold War era aesthetic military shit, you know, like the M16A2. Oh, I love that. I did like a lot of that in the movie, that they had the good like Cold War era like firearms and stuff. But then like like having Humvees, they had the 50 cal machine guns. They did show that in a couple parts. And like they did have this one scene where like it was in the military base where all the Demogorgons were breaking through, and it was like a slaughter. So they in a way they did have that, but it was like the humans, like the military was like not doing shit. Like Will was the only one that was able to help them out in that situation. So he like finally tapped into his powers at the last minute, and then like, because he was basically, the whole idea, Tony, was that he was like he was seeing what all the Demogorgon were seeing. So he like knew where they were, and he knew if one was about to kill one of his friends, he stopped them. And there was this whole thing where he reaches out and like stops one that's about to get his mom, and then stops another. And then like Lucas is in a cave, like mad far away, out of eyesight. And then he like, it's about to get him, and then he like, oh, and then he like goes over like this, and he's like holding that one back too. So it was like, like it was kind of cool having that part there. But like, yeah, that was the only scene where you saw like a lot of like gunfighting, with the Demogorgons, and like none of it worked. It's just like kind of annoying. Like I do think that that's fucking really annoying. Like you're telling me a fucking 50 cal isn't gonna obliterate that shit. Like I get it. It's like it's a creature that has some form of natural armor, but like, fuck off, dude. Like even even dinosaurs and shit that we know of that had natural armor, like they wouldn't be able to fucking stop like a 50 cal round from a fucking heavy machine gun or an anti-material rifle. Materiello. Yeah, like imagine having like a Barrett, you know that kind of that sniper.
Yeah, of course.
Like yeah, like, and that, again, like, I'm pretty sure that's something that was around in that time. Like they should have had that rifle in there, being like, this thing packs a fucking punch, just like blasting the shit out of fucking Demogorgons. Like I don't know, I really, especially as like a sniper scene, like Nancy, right, being like, oh, she's such a good shot. Like give me a sniper scene. You know what I mean? Didn't they say something like, oh, Lucas at one point, he's like, oh, like snipers chew bubble gum. It's like, all right, if you guys want to have a sniper scene, do it right, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Get Nancy.
Yeah.
Put her in her role. You're telling us she's the best shot out of anyone. Then put her in her role.
Yeah.
In the fuck, because imagine, especially like, think about that in the tower where like the other guys were, like Lucas and stuff like that, having that fucking Saving Private Ryan, the fucking lefty sniper dude, and he's fucking like just fucking killing a bunch of fucking German dudes.
Barry
you know?
Pepper.
Yeah. Like I don't know, put her in that scene. Like they could have had so many cool. They could have done so much more. That was, I think that was like where I started with this whole thing of like so much potential in this series, and it kind of does feel wasted. It feels like they could have done so much more, and they definitely had the budget for it. You know, they had great casting. They had so many things going for them that could have really like made this, especially when again it comes when like battle scenes and shit, like made it on par with like the Battle of Helm's Deep or like Battle of the Bastards or like, you know what I mean? Like that's, you know, or fucking Battle of Geonosis. You know what I mean? Like I want to see that level of shit in my fucking sci-fi, paranormal, fantasy, whatever you want to call it. Like that's what I want to see. I want to see big ass armies duking it out. You know,
Big ass
and
dudes.
then also duels. I need to see duels. The how they killed Vecna was way too fucking easy.
So easy.
Way too fucking easy. They just like Elle just kind of like pushes him around a little bit and eventually like skewers him on a spike. And Joyce, Will's mom, is the one that like delivers the killing blow. She comes in. And it's kind of like this whole thing of like they're trying to all, you know, bring it back to her. Like she was the one who was originally like the most traumatized by this whole thing, you know? But that is a kind of a cool scene where they show like all of the trauma and the losses that they've had, even though, like I said, they pull a lot of punches because there's always like side characters they kill off. But like all the losses that they've had, you know, they're kind of showing all these flashbacks, and like Joyce, like Will's mom, is like basically has a fire axe and is like hacking away, not like one clean swipe, multiple hacking off Vecna's head. That was fucking cool. But because I know we're kind of going late here, but like one of the last big plot holes that I do want to point out, again, something I do agree with the masses on this one. Will should have been feeling all of that. Like he's supposed to be connected to the hive mind. Like he feels when the Demogorgons get hurt, he feels it. When Vecna gets hurt, he feels it. When the hive mind gets hurt or scared in any way, he feels it.
Yep.
And then they have this whole, like at the end, it kind of would have been like a crazy thing. Wouldn't it have been that difficult for them to add, to be like, okay, so we have to like make sure Vecna's dead, but also like we gotta like, this might kill Will in the process. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was a
You
big
know?
loophole.
And again, an opportunity for like a character death kind of thing where maybe like Will delivers the killing blow and it kills him in the process. In a way, it kind of makes
They should have done that.
kind of makes it come full circle, where it was all about him in the beginning, and he's the one who was initially victimized, and he gets to like finally like get his revenge, you know, for everything that he's put his family and his friends through. So like, they could have had a lot. They could have, that would have, I don't know. Just there's a lot of that. A lot of these things where I'm like it very similar to Game of Thrones, like the last season or the last two seasons, however you want to think about it. Like they really could have done a lot better. And like normal, regular people like me, like Mike, like Tony, could easily think of like 1,000 better ways to do certain things that they did, or to wrap things up, or to tie stuff up neatly. It definitely does feel like there was, like, again, agreeing with people in the comments here being like, yeah, they rushed it, you know? Does feel like they wanted to just be over with. And in a way you kind of respect it, because it's like, look, a lot of shows go on for way longer than they should. And that's, you know, that's very unfortunate. A lot of times the shows, they end up being like really bad by the end. Like The Walking Dead, looking at you right now, you know, could have ended, you know, much sooner, but they didn't. There's a lot of shows like that. So I respect them for being like, all right, 5 seasons. That's like honestly pretty, like doing a pretty good job at trying to wrap it up in 5 seasons. but just feels like they could have they had way more potential than they utilized with that show.
Yeah.
Way more potential, and it just it's whatever. I still really enjoyed it though. Like I did actually enjoy a lot of like watching through that last season. There were cool parts. There was some decent action. A lot of like melodramatic moments where like you're like, dude, you're in the middle of battle. Like you gotta fucking like lock in and just stop fucking thinking about your feelings all the time. You know what I mean?
So much.
Too much of that, but still, I really enjoyed it. I know Tony's getting bored of this, so
Don't worry about me.
I really enjoyed it, but I feel like they did waste a lot of potential. There are a lot of plot holes, and interesting.
Overall, good show.
Yeah, it is interesting how they did leave it where they were like, Mike has this like they don't say this is what happens necessarily, but they do show his theory of like how Elle's sister, the one that can do the illusions, Mike thinks his theory is that Elle is still alive.
Yeah.
And that what we saw disappear when the portal closed was the illusion, and that Elle secretly got away.
Yeah.
But even that has a huge plot hole with like, if the sister was in the building where the explosion happened, she would have died, and then the magic would have stopped. Like the illusion would have gone away immediately. You know, whatever. Either way, yeah, good. You know, I still like it. I still think Stranger Things is one of my favorite things to ever come out of Netflix, for sure.
Definitely.
For sure. And I will say that as much as I do think that they could have done a lot better in a lot of different ways throughout like multiple seasons, they could have done a better job. Season 1 was pretty perfect, I'll say, you know.
Yeah.
Season 1 was probably that is the most like annoying thing, basically saying you have to admit that it's like it only really gets worse, right? Season 2 and 3 were the worst, and it does get a little bit better towards the end, but like it's like still nowhere near as good as the first season was.
No, that was an epic season.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. We can. I know we have a couple other things. Do we want to watch a trailer? Or did we already do that?
I don't know. I mean, want to just wrap up at this point? I mean, we're in 2.5 hours in. I mean,
I feel like you do.
I mean, again, we're 2.5 hours in. I mean, it's 10:30. This is definitely way longer than we typically go. I mean,
but it's also a Friday. You guys probably just gonna go to the bar later.
You want
to go to the bar now?
We don't have any plans at all right now tonight.
We talked about it before. You talked about it.
Yeah. No, I've made my feelings known.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I guess, right? We'll just wrap it up at this point. I mean, I don't know.
But just really quick, what else did we have?
Well, we had like if you look at the rundown here, I mean, we had like a whole show. I mean, there's
I just like ruined it.
Couple trailers, we rapid fire news, YouTube video of the day, DVD pickups. So, I mean, I don't know. What do you
I told you I had a lot to say. So, I mean,
no, that's fine.
You did
That's
great.
totally fine. Yeah, it was a great breakdown. It was a great breakdown.
Very good.
But again, I mean, we probably have, I don't know, another hour of a show, I guess, left in our rundown. Give or take. Probably more like take.
I guess, it's up to you because this was the stuff that you wanted to do. I feel bad, dude. I feel bad for like pushing this stuff back.
Yeah, no. I mean,
I should feel bad.
fine.
I should feel bad. That's what he's saying. I should feel bad.
No. I mean, I'm not really saying anything.
We can't watch Avengers.
Yeah. Let's watch it. Let's take a look. This is the newest Avengers Doomsday trailer. They came out a couple days ago. But it was just something I wanted to. Let's just watch it.
The end is only part of the journey.
They're here. The barriers have fallen.
You fight and you condemn yourselves to chaos. I have come to bring order.
His energy signature. It's identical. It's impossible from a probability standpoint.
It's him. I know it's him. We need to talk to him.
They call me a monster. But who saved them when their heroes fell?
Stark?
Stark was weak. He died for your sins. I live to correct them.
Yeah, man. I think I think that like it. I don't know. Definitely haven't been a big like Avengers guy like ever really. Again, for me, Captain America movies, Iron Man movies were always really cool. Civil War was cool. Infinity War, Endgame, cool. Wasn't that biggest fan in a lot of the other stuff, but that does look cool. I mean, I love the X-Men. Like I didn't have a lot of like favorite comic book whatever people superheroes when I was younger, but every kid loves Spider-Man, right? So I love Spider-Man. I wasn't the big like Batman guy, Batman kid, but the X-Men were so cool. Just all the the idea of like the idea of the Academy with the fucking it's like a sanctuary for the mutants, and where they're like they can learn to control their powers and stuff. It kind of has that like Hogwarts element of it in there. I know like Hogwarts was later, but it's still like it has that feel to it, which I think does make for really cool like setting. They showed Mystique, they got Wolverine, they have fucking was it Cyclops? I think he was like, I don't know. There's one fighting game where he's one of my favorites. Also Gambit. I always like Gambit because he had the staff. Yeah, dude. I'm the fact that like the X-Men are like actually in this one does make me be like, all right, dude, I'll give this a chance. Can you turn on your mic?
I'm pretty sure it's the original cast.
It is. Yeah. I mean, they've done the whole casting and everything, and it's definitely interesting. Especially, I don't know. I think it's been pretty cool the way they've been marketing. And I know I haven't looked at any spoilers. I know there's been a shit ton of leaks online and whatnot. But I think it's pretty cool how each of these trailers we've been watching has been like, focused on one certain character. Like the X-Men will return.
Yeah.
Thor will return.
Right.
Captain America or Steve Rogers will return. They did one, I think yesterday or this morning, they did like a Wakanda one too. Like Wakanda will return. So I think it's pretty cool how they're kind of marketing with all like these short trailers and stuff. Keith did say in the comments that trailer was AI, which is, I think it was. Now that I'm watching it again, so I guess just disregard that completely. But I mean, it is what it is.
Wait, hold on. That whole thing was AI?
Yeah, it definitely was. Just watching it back again, it kind of looked like it, didn't it?
Damn, dude. Yeah. I mean, it's
which is pretty fucking lame. Like whoever made that should probably.
Well, can you look at the comments?
Can
you go that?
No, I just did. It's over. It's over, dude. Like just wrap it up. Like just honestly.
That's fucking wild.
That's
like,
crazy.
We should all hang ourselves right here.
I mean, it makes me want to
wrap it up. Yeah, me too, dude.
Wait, so you're telling me you didn't like research that at all? You just like found it. You're like, oh, it's so cool.
Joey's tight.
No, it's pretty
tight.
Again, I mean, I guess just it
looked real.
The hecticness of today. Yeah, maybe I overlooked it, and I guess I didn't read the comments, but I don't know. It was like the first fucking thing that popped up when I saw an article like, oh wow, brand new Avengers trailer, and then that's the first thing that popped up on Google. I guess I did watch it, which again, I mean, it looked good to me when I watched it, but I guess just disregard that. I mean,
Avengers Doomsday trailer.
We're pieces of shit, I guess.
Trailer
that's
AI.
that,
No, here, let's look this up because we gotta.
No, it is like confirmed verbatim. Like, there's really no reason to keep, I guess, diving into it. I guess
there's no reason to harp on it.
No, he wants you to be embarrassed.
Yeah,
no, that's fine, dude. I mean, I guess
it was 3 weeks ago.
No, this video was from 2 days ago.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, look, everything that I said at least still was relevant. That like I am excited for the X-Men.
Yeah,
and we saw that last night in the theaters that there is a legitimate like X-Men are coming kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. You got to be careful what you watch nowadays, and you got to take everything with a grain of salt.
Yeah,
because
Joey could be AI.
I could. I mean, Tony honestly fucked us all in that one, dude. He set us all up, dude.
Yeah, no, I did, dude. Brutal.
He did do the research for it, so
yeah.
At least he tried.
Mm-hmm.
I've made it. I'm pretty sure I made it clear to you guys how I feel about AI. AI art. I just think it's fucking. It sucks. It sucks that artists have been already in modern society have been up until this point have been having a really tough time, and this whole AI art thing just fucking blows, dude. Because it's like we figured that robotics and AI would like make life easier for us by doing the shit that by doing the shit that we didn't want to do, and now it's like, oh no, we actually got really good at doing what you love first, and so we can replace. We don't need people to like make art and like pursue their passions and hobbies. We'll just have computers do it. That really is like really depressing, you know. And I do think that like
I think Sharon said this on our episode with him. Human stuff will be a premium.
I do. I think that I've heard that take before, and I do like it is upsetting, but I do kind of see that that's gonna. I really hate it. I don't like it, and I'm gonna like throw a tantrum about it forever.
Mm-hmm.
And be a grumpy old man yelling at clouds forever. I won't ever stop. But I mean, yeah, there's a lot of like businesses where I just feel like they're not gonna give a shit, and they're like, oh, we need a graphic for this, or poster, whatever. Just fucking throw it into some like AI image generator and just. You guys see the fucking thing with somebody did some like AI image generation for like Overwatch. And because of all of the Overwatch porn on the internet, it like there was a bunch of like because there was basically like a line of people, and like on the left, like the last like section of people was just penises. Like it was because literally like the internet doesn't know how to like make a distinction of like this is like, you know, this is because of how much Overwatch porn is on the internet. It's just like, oh, this must be what Overwatch is. This is just part of the game of the Overwatch franchise. And it's like, it's fucking wild, dude. Yeah, so definitely be careful. Don't be like Tony. You know, do you want me to close it out?
Yeah, I think we should. I think it's time to get out of here, dude.
You're mad at me.
I'm over it.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I don't know. I mean, whatever. It's whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
Who really cares?
Who pointed that out? Keith?
Yeah.
Keith definitely gets some like he's going to be one of the last ones alive in the apocalypse.
Yeah.
Like I think that's something we got to throw some praise at him right now. He's hard to trick. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
He's seen a lot. He's a Marine, dude. They're ready for everything. Keith would fare well if he had to fight a Demogorgon. I think Keith would fucking, you know. And he'd also like if we really wanted to like enslave Pandora and the Na'vi people, just hire Keith.
Yeah.
Just get Keith. He'd clean it out in a day.
Yeah.
You know, bing bang boom. Love you, Keith. Fortnite. Yeah, we're gonna get on later. All right, so I guess we're gonna close it out. I am sorry that I fucking rambled the whole time.
No, you did great, dude.
I know, but I know that
best episode.
I know it makes Tony upset. 'Cause Tony does a lot of research and all this stuff.
Yeah, like why, you know, hours out of my life to make a rundown. I mean, you know,
I think you did
I
great,
just won't do
Tony.
it next time. It's
No,
fine.
No. We do need structure. Like
No, obviously not. And I mean, now everything that I really researched is going to be irrelevant by the next episode. So.
But we don't, dude. You guys are so lame. Like we could talk about this more. We could talk about this on a gaming corner. You know
what?
More of this stuff, dude. We can do some gaming corner stuff that's not always just playing games. Like we can talk about some games, or even like if we have to, like, okay, there's some movie stuff that we forgot to like get to, or we couldn't get to during Binge Buddies. We can just be like, yeah, next gaming corner we'll kind of like finish it up because Tony's tired. Tony wants to go to the bar.
Oh,
you guys want to play?
man,
You guys want to
dude.
play pool?
This poor guy.
You know.
I'm watching this video. It's a Milford Police Department video, and I guess this guy was like having a good time doing donuts in the snowy parking lot,
Yeah.
and like I guess he crashed into the fence, and then he left.
Oh.
And they got him on camera, so now he's gonna go to jail. It says,
Damn.
like that sucks, dude.
That's a horrible way to go to jail.
I know that really is.
That
a
is
horrible
probably
way to
one of
go
the
to
worst
jail.
ways. Why are you here? I was doing donuts.
Yeah, right. I was doing donuts in like an empty parking lot at whatever time, 2:43 in the morning. But at that point though, like regardless if he was drunk or not, they can't prove that.
Yeah. So why is he going to jail then?
Because he destroyed the property and then fled the scene.
That'll do it.
That is sad, dude.
That is.
I mean, give me a break here with the chief of police. I am proud of the Milford Police Detective Bureau and the hours of investigating it took to bring this case to a conclusion.
What a dick.
Like, honestly, dude. Although, who knows? Maybe this guy has a prior record or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Patrick Vega Oliveira.
Vega.
That's tough, dude.
Yeah, it is.
All right, so
Oh yeah, dude, you can close this out.
okay.
Let's do it.
Thank you everyone for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. You know, Binge Buddies is what, once a month now we're doing basically.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, so you know, join us if you guys want to talk more like movies and stuff. Like I'm here during Gaming Corner, which we do once a week on Wednesdays. Anyone that's, you know, listening or watching, you can tune in there too, and we can continue to talk about stuff. I'll talk about Lord of the Rings any day. So if anyone just wants to talk about Lord of the Rings, yeah, I'm here to do that. Hang out with us on Discord. If anyone wants to do any like, you know, sharing, screen sharing their game, they're playing a game, you want to screen share it or something like that. I know it's tough to do on console. I'm a PC guy, whatever. But yeah, I mean, like we can hang out, we can, you know, exchange ideas, have fun, get into a little trouble, you know, crash into a fence, leave, go to jail.
Oh man, that's terrible.
All right. Well, listen. Yeah, thanks again, everyone, for watching this episode of Binge Buddies, and we will see you on Monday for
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Sports
Okay.
Board.
All right. Bye, everyone. Take care.
Peace.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.